Going live. You're live. There we go.
Maybe.
For the record, we weren't late. YouTube Studio was messing me about. I hit start streaming in OBS, and YouTube Studio was just sitting there going, waiting for you to connect. And after a while, I was like, oh, it's logged me out, hasn't it? Refresh the page. You need to sign in again. Oh! Why didn't you ask me when I opened Studio in the first place?
Which was only a few minutes ago.
Yeah. Why do you let me open YouTube Studio, view sensitive data, and then decide that you want me to sign in again?
Yeah.
Why is that the way around that you do this?
I still don't understand why loading Studio just isn't to always sign in. So like every time you load Studio, it requires you to sign in to verify that you are actually a person who should be viewing it.
At the very least, if it is going to make you sign in again, why is it not doing it at the point of load, not when it has already loaded, revealed sensitive information, and then decided your session has expired?
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like letting someone into your house and then being like, oh, no, actually, no, I don't know you. No, get out of the house again. You know, just like, no, you check at the door. What's wrong? Anyway. So yes, and on a related note to what we were talking about, yes, this is there's an interesting thing about the hoo-ha with the recent Discord breach. I use air quotes because a lot of people are misunderstanding it. Like lots of people are pointing that being like, oh look, it's happened already, and it's like the Discord breach, by the looks of things, was nothing to do with age verification at all. It's actually what seems to actually have been the case is Discord have a third party who handles some of their support requests like account recovery and so on, and that third party who has access to Discord user information got compromised. And because they handle payment information, because for example someone has made a payment and then not received their Discord Nitro, so they've opened up a support ticket, therefore that company has access to their payment details and their Discord data. That is what was compromised. It was nothing to do with age verification. However, the fact that the breach has happened is evidence that breaches happen. And when you start storing user data of this ilk that you don't need to store, that is a landmine. While this particular moment, this is not the landmine that people think it is that has been stepped on, but it is proof that when you gather data, at some point something is going to happen. Yeah. And that's the interesting takeaway from this. This is the recent Discord breach is not a breach of your age verification data. It is just a humdrum standard issue thing. But it is proof that breaches can and will happen. That's the takeaway from it.
Certainly when you're a service that's used by however many million people.
Exactly.
It becomes a high value target.
Mm-hmm.
And your suppliers become targets, and your suppliers' suppliers become targets.
Exactly.
And your suppliers' aunties become targets.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, yeah, this is again why...
And what is your mother's maiden name?
Yeah.
What was the name of the street you first grew up on?
Also, I just got this really cool new credit card. I want you guys to show me your credit cards. Who's got a cool credit card? Take a picture of it and share it in chat. Don't do that.
Please. Please.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show.
This is the point where Sai DMs me a picture of my credit card saying, oh, I just took this from your wallet. You what?
Right, yes. Hello, everyone. I'm going to quickly scan through the chats. It is indeed a 4000X. I've got a couple of bits and pieces to repair today. No sort of interesting repairs, just stuff that I need doing. So I figured I'd do it on stream while we have a chat. This is the first of those. This is in for service, but this build has just got like it's just cables and like the graphics card is in the wrong slot and stuff like that. So I just want to I need to just do a not a full disassembly, but just take a bunch of parts out of this, reorder some of the cables, wipe all the dust off everything, put it back together again, and then it's ready for software service.
It's also got actual dirt on it.
Yeah, exactly. It just needs a good wipe down. I've already given it a blowout with the air duster, but the rest of the stuff that's remaining is stuff that you actually need to just wipe down. You know, the air duster won't take off dirt, you know. So yeah.
I got one of those turbo 300,000 RPM.
Oh, the
fans.
little I actually want to buy one of those. I
got one of them, and I meant to bring it, and I forgot because it's still in my car.
Ah, fair. Yeah. I've actually been meaning to buy one of those because I do think they're useful. I don't think it's going to be a replacement for my electric air duster.
Yeah.
Because I will, like, if I'm dusting out a whole PC, I'm still going to take it out the back and use the big hairdryer, you know.
Yes.
However, for just quickly blowing out a laptop fan, like for laptop fans, when I take it out of things, I don't need to take that out back, you know, just having a little thing that I can just go and put it back in again. Incredibly useful.
Yes.
So yes. However, the hilarious liters per second and RPM race on them is just like, oh my god, I haven't bought one yet because I don't know which one to buy because the numbers are just clearly all bullshit. So I have no idea which one is actually good.
I need a tachometer so I can stick a little laser dot on there and then be like, okay, you're actually doing 2,000 RPM. I'm filing a claim for false advertising.
So yeah. Yes. All right.
However, yes, I found it useful for like cleaning in between the tight bits in chairs on a car.
Oh yeah.
It's like getting down the side of a chair where you're like, I can't get the vacuum in here, but there's bits.
Yeah.
Now the bits are over there where I can vacuum them.
Yeah. Very fair. Very fair. Okay, right. Quickly scanning through the chat again. Sidlab says, haven't heard of any Discord breach. Yeah, it's doing the rounds this morning. Yeah. So yeah. However, if you are affected, Discord will email you and say you have been affected by this. They are doing responsible disclosure of this. So yeah, this is a routine breach. And if saying routine breach sounds strange to you, then this is a technical term. The term routine failure and routine breach is the reality that failures and breaches are inevitable. Catastrophic failures and such like are going to happen. This is why your procedures should not be to stop it happening at all costs, but what to do when it inevitably does happen. You plan for the worst, you know. So yeah. Let's see. How many victims today? Don't know, as many as we get through. So yes. Don't forget to do a test boot to confirm everything works before you start stripping it down. Yeah, I guess I should, to be honest. I've no reason to believe that this doesn't work, so I normally wouldn't do that. However, I do advise people to check what status it's in before you try and turn it on. So yes, that is a good thought.
Does the computer?
Yeah, because if it doesn't compute because the CPU has exploded, I should probably know that before I take it apart. So yeah.
Yes.
All right. Quentin says, I tried the cranborne cider from last week. Very tasty. Yeah, it's very good. Yeah, the cranborne chase cider we've got. We've got another crate of it from Willem, who in the chat is class optional, if I've read that correctly. So thank you very much for the shipment, as I guess I'll refer to it.
Thank you for your package.
Okay. Right, well, I'm going to start taking this apart. And we should probably talk about something.
Okay. I guess. It's not like this is a talk show or anything.
Yeah. I wanted to make a Radiohead joke there, but no one will get it.
Because Radiohead are old.
You're old.
I mean, yes. But not quite as old as Radiohead.
It's true. Also, I think Tom York has actually gone insane now, which is unfortunate, but whatever. All right, let's see. I'm going to start. Oh, yeah, we've got to turn it on. Yeah, okay. Oh. Got to heckin' take my own advice. Like some kind of whatever. Right.
I may have accidentally pre-announced what you were doing on the stream. What? Si? What did you do, Si?
Wow, what did you do? Yeah.
Oh. Apparently we're using some duct tape, building a computer from a spoon, a bale of hay, some blue tack, and also a computer.
I see.
And also we'll be explaining Intel's CPU naming convention through the medium of interpreted dance. Speaking of Intel CPUs, Intel have just started the marketing campaign for Panther Lake.
For what lake?
Panther Lake.
Panther Lake, okay, yeah.
Yes. Codename Pathetic Lake.
Oh no. Oh, does anyone know if it's going to be good?
So apparently, according to the rumours that do come out, Intel are expecting up to 5% IPC improvements.
Oh my god.
On Meteor Lake, which had 5% regression on what was 12th gen called?
Who cares? 12th gen, yeah.
That.
Yeah, I don't even know the code names, to be honest. The generational numbers are a lot more useful to me.
So apparently up to 5% performance improvement.
Yeah, which
for IPC.
Just to make sure we're clear, 5% improvement is crap. No one cares. That is imperceptible.
Yes, certainly when AMD's target is 20-something% plus for next generation.
Yeah,
and it's
AMD
just like,
routinely get 20% uplifts generation on generation. So when Intel, who are currently in dire straits, say, yeah, we're going to get 5% improvement, I'm just like, all right, so basically that means you're going to fall further behind AMD.
However,
okay, yep, continue.
However, it's a laptop first architecture. And
yeah, okay, that's quite common for Intel these days. So,
and it appears that it is a reasonably solid improvement in performance at sub 30 watts. So for your ultra premium thin and lights, it will actually be really rather good.
Okay,
is the inference?
Yeah. Although and in fairness, it's not turning on. So actually, probably
is the PSU turned on? That's what I was looking at.
Yep, the PSU is indeed turned on. So
is
probably
the power cable turned on?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I knew that this thing wasn't running in advance. I don't actually recall. This has been sitting on the shelf for too long, so I can't remember the conversation with the customer. Also, there are some cables that aren't plugged in? Or it just doesn't have a USB 3 header. Okay, well, it looks like this needs some troubleshooting, so let's go, I guess.
So yes, apparently Celestial is going to be performant as long as it isn't crashing.
Fair enough. Yeah, because I was going to say, the one thing that Intel do actually have going for them is that, certainly since Lunar Lake, their mobile platforms have been pretty good.
Yeah.
I hesitate to use the term competitive, but their mobile platforms are certainly good and power efficient. And considering the initial what are the ARM chips again? Qualcomm. The initial Qualcomm takeover scare certainly seemed to galvanize Intel a bit, because as soon as Lunar Lake came out, suddenly we started seeing laptops that would now do all-day battery life and stuff like that. And ever since then, their power efficiency for laptops has been, pretty decent, In terms of raw performance, that's still a problem, but raw performance isn't necessarily something you care about with a thin and light. So that means that there is certainly an area where Intel can prove their usefulness.
Yeah.
If they can't compete on speed, maybe they can make really good thin and lights and stay relevant in one area.
Yeah.
So hello, Maito. So yes. The really important thing about the new Intel Mobile CPU is the new Xe3 GPU cores. Possibly. I haven't been paying any attention. I haven't been paying any attention to that. For what purpose? Does anyone care about graphics performance on mobile right now? Unless you're using discrete graphics, I guess.
It depends on how good it actually ends up being. Because
Well, I guess the reason why no one would care about it is that it's not good enough for gaming, therefore who cares? It's good enough for desktop, and if it's not good enough for gaming, then it doesn't matter.
Because if it suddenly becomes good enough to replace a laptop 5050 or a laptop 5060,
Yeah,
then it's a case of that's when all of these APU type or class devices become very useful, because obviously those devices are still like 6 gig VRAM devices.
Yeah.
Is that a 2060?
It's a 1660 Ti.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 6 gig, so it's fine. Not great, but fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the top slot, the locking lever has snapped off. I wonder if that's why they stopped using it, because they thought it might be broken.
Who knows?
Oh, the CPU cooler wasn't bolted down. I should probably have done a closer inspection of this before I tried to turn it on. Huh. Do you want to put us on bench cam, actually? Yeah.
Why do you want the front pulled off, so? Bench cam with face.
Now everyone can watch me fumble with this hacking. Oh! I hate these 2-point clamps so much. Please talk about something.
Come on, you can do it. I believe in you. I have faith. Okay, my faith is waning. It's waning. In before no CPU. Oh, that's why it won't power on. You've got to use the force.
All right.
Significant force.
That's not how a hook works.
Yeah, it is. If you use sufficient force, the hook stops being a hook because it now materially fails.
I'm just going to carry on taking this apart and then put it back together again and see what it does.
Yes, you have RAM.
Yeah.
Is it more than 4 gigs?
Yes, 16 gig, 3200, CL16. So it's just, pretty rudimentary. What CPU is in here? Where is... Oh, can you pass me the kitchen towel, please?
Excellent. You're welcome, Winston.
Wow, this paste is cooked.
You gotta have faith.
I wonder how long that CPU cooler hasn't actually been clamped on. It's a 3800X.
Sorry, what? Sister goes out, comes back with a new car. Was that the intention of their trip, or did they just kind of acquire one?
Just to say they just robbed it from a street corner, yeah.
Does this also mean that your sister has now acquired 2 cars in the time it's taken you to fail to obtain one? Dave Bob.
Wow, way to call him out, man. Absolute savagery. That's fine. I'm just going to pull all of these wires out and just reorder them, I guess.
Come out.
Yeah, that's plugged in. That's plugged in. I'm going to check that the CPU has pins.
These are pins.
Yes, the CPU does indeed have pins. Many much. Okay, cool.
It is in fact
A
PGA.
CPU, yeah.
Was it in the correct orientation?
Yes.
Had they just gone socketed now?
Oh yeah, this board just... Oh, that fan header down there is bent.
Is it bent and touching?
No, I don't believe so. Although I think there was something... Oh, it could have been plugged in there, I didn't see. So I didn't see if something had been plugged into it wonky. However, the pins are not touching, so that's not causing a problem right now. So, fine, cool. I'm going to flip this over and check that there's nothing screamingly wrong in the back, and then we can put some bits in and try and turn it on again and find out if this is actually a problem or not.
Oh, the modular cable's actually plugged into the modular power supply.
Yeah. Ugh.
Like that 1080 Ti.
Yes, they are. Yeah, the cable routing is a bit wonky. We'll change that in a minute, but yeah, we'll before I do any more cable tidying, I should probably find out if we've actually got to, like, for realsies, take this to bits. I didn't realise this was a no power. I thought this was just a clean-up job. So yeah, the only thing I've done with this since it came in was blow the dust out of it, and, you know, just straight away, case in point, that might have been a misunderstanding there, but whatever. Does this have an SSD in it as well? It does not. Oh, gross. This doesn't have an SSD at all.
No.
In that case, it's just a hard drive.
Yeah.
Ew. Well, that's why it's slow. Because I was going to say that it's in for service because it's slow. And yeah, it's slow because it's a hard drive. Okay, well, now we know why it's slow. Fine. Okay. Right, I'll try and power it up again before I do anything else, like like BIOS resets or anything like that. I'll just see what it does, having just jiggled it. And I guess we'll find out if that top slot works or not. I'll just put in one of these. Actually, I may as well just put them both in, because unless we start doing serious diagnostics, there's no reason to take the memory back out again.
Oh my god.
Suggest an upgrade? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like SSD will be mandatory for this. You know, I'll be saying to them, like, yeah, this needs an SSD. This is not optional. You cannot run a modern computer on a hard drive. That is just not viable. I'm going to get a different heatsink that I can perch. Where is...
There is no suggest an upgrade. That infers there's a choice.
Yeah. Well, it's a case of, if he turned around and says, no, I don't want to pay for an SSD, my response to that will be, in that case, I cannot service your computer. Please come and collect it. Because, like, yes. Yeah, I can't do anything if there's a hard drive in there. I cannot make this... Oh, there it is. I cannot make this thing faster if you're running it on a hard drive. So if you don't want to put an SSD in it, then we're done here. It's that simple. Wow. I knew I took out some of these cables a bit rough, but all of these pins are bent. I wasn't that, I mean, I know I was a little bit rough, but I wasn't that rough.
What is it? Is it a 5600?
The what?
Is it a 5600, the CPU?
No, it's 3800X.
Okay.
Yeah, no, oh yeah, sorry, I said that earlier on, but I guess you missed it, that's fine. Yeah,
sorry, I thought someone said that.
No, the CPU is a 3800X, which is, you know, on the older side because it's 3000 series, but still a decent CPU. That's 8-core 16-thread, unless I'm mistaken, so yeah, entirely fine.
Yeah. Given the rest of the system as well, yeah, there's no point in spending money.
Yeah,
there.
I mean, the next upgrade I would do on this would be the graphics card, I think. You could pick up a second-hand, like you could stick a 6700 XT or 6750 XT in a computer like this and get a fairly decent gaming performance increase out of it. The CPU is not going to be bottlenecking it in significantly until you go up to a significantly higher graphics card. And the platform has got plenty of legs in it.
Although, going from a 1660 Ti to a 6700, isn't that something like a 250% jump?
Well, yeah.
So you're probably going to be CPU limited.
Well, I guess you'll be CPU limited in the absolute technical sense, but as we know.
Oh yeah. That's what I meant. Just because it's such a huge jump.
Yeah.
Because actually the 1600 series was... There
we go. It has now powered on, so I'm not sure what was upsetting it just then.
Yes, a 6700 XT is 100% faster. It is double the performance.
Nice.
Very well. So yes.
Right, cool. This is posted now. So yeah, it
With
is
a
now.
new CPU. Hold on a minute.
Yeah, because I took the CPU out, it's going, new CPU installed. Because yeah, the board does know if the CPU got removed. So yeah, not sure why it didn't turn on initially when we looked at it. Wow, that shouldn't be touching that. However, yeah, it now turns on and posts. So yeah, I will carry on actually tidying this thing up now, which was the original objective. So yeah, no idea what that was about, but it wasn't a big deal.
Excellent.
Cool. All right. Take these bits back out again, and then I can.
It has the most £50 GPU cooler, doesn't it?
Yeah. They're fine, I guess. Yeah.
I'm just kind of like, oh, okay.
I don't hate graphics cards like this. Yeah. I mean, I guess the only major problem is just the fact that it's just, a 2 heat pipe design, and I guess there's just not a lot of metal there.
Yeah,
the principal
it's also the
issue.
fact that because it's whatever the manufacturing method is.
Yeah, it's extruded. Although, to be honest, I don't think anyone skives these days.
It's just a fact of obviously, so there's no flow through actually onto the circuit board.
Yes,
So it's just that's just a case of this the only issue with that, because obviously most heat sinks you go straight through to the circuit board, and then it bouncing off the circuit board is what sprays it around. So you get VRM cooling and stuff, and
yeah, that makes
that's all
sense.
PCB cooling. So it's just a case of that's the only problem.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, because have I got a newer graphics card? That one might.
That is exactly the same. Oh no, it has normal fins. You can just only see them through the ends because they're the other way around.
Yeah. So by comparison, that's an interesting observation. So if we have a look at this heatsink, you can see that it's an aluminium extrusion. So they've got it's been pushed this way through a mold effectively, and we've got this solid base plate along the bottom. So the airflow is going down through the fans and hitting that base plate, which cools the heatsink excellently, but none of the airflow actually gets to the PCB. So there's no auxiliary cooling to the board itself and the other components on there. Whereas by comparison, on this EVGA 1060, you can see here that the heatsink is independently stacked fins. So there will be a degree of air blowing through the heatsink and then hitting the board below. This one seems to have some kind of plate at the bottom. So like this one might not be a great example of that, but at any rate, you can see the difference between these stacked fins versus the extruded aluminium block design. And then obviously this can go a step further with newer designs where you have a blow through section of the card, but that doesn't give you PCB cooling. That just makes that section of the heatsink a bit more efficient because the air blows all the way through it. So yeah. So is right. Okay. Check the BIOS battery. May as well while we're here, I guess. Worth doing.
Here are my ridiculously sharp stabby boys.
Needlessly sharp stabby boys.
Certainly needlessly sharp when testing a battery.
3.03. It's fine, but by my own logic. Also, can you turn the camera around? It's annoying me. It's really hard to make sure I'm on shot when it's upside down. Fix me. 3.03. That's fine, but I'm going to replace it anyway because a new battery costs pennies. Thanks, you asshole.
Oh, shit.
Now the true nightmare begins.
Fixed it. Ah!
Can't take you anywhere. Right, this knife is a true death trap because it doesn't lock. And I should throw it out and use a different one.
Oh no, my £1 knife.
Yes. So, if it looks like I'm doing extremely dangerous cutting here, it's because I am. Oh my god. Wouldn't it be really funny if I ended up cutting myself on the plastic instead of the knife? You know, the irony being I'm using the knife really dangerously, but it wasn't the knife that was actually the danger.
Yeah, it's also just that packing, man. That packing.
Yeah.
Why are you like this? Not on the really cheap packets, because they don't actually slit the slit on the back. So you try and push it through and you just don't get anywhere.
Cool, that's fine. Right, these fans, I'm going to take... yeah, I'm going to take the fans out and just wipe them down. I need the big screwdriver. Where is the big yellow one? I've seen it around. There it is. Whoop.
There it is. Picks up, slaps it across the room.
Shut.
Somehow pierces a monitor.
Right. So on the positive side, I've got some videos to edit this weekend, which is nice because, yeah, I'm struggling to get out a video a week at the moment just because, yeah, it's been mega busy, but also just there hasn't been a lot of good video content, annoyingly. But yeah, I recorded the motherboard roundup video, got recorded just before we went live today, so that's that will exist and hopefully not be terrible. And also I recorded a laptop repair, which was a bust. It was a high side short into the CPU. Spoilers. Although, to be honest, I knew that before I rolled the intro. Like, I was doing the cold open for the video, and I measured 1.5 ohms on the main power rail, and just immediately said, "Uh-oh." Just like, that's going to be a high side short. This is dead. Like, this is just, I'm calling now. This is already game over. However, let's look and understand what has happened here. And I think that's hopefully going to be a nice, concise video showing what a high side short looks like, how to recognize it, and how to understand what has happened. So even though that's not a successful repair, I think I can make a good video out of it. So I'm quite looking forward to doing that. So nice. I think that's probably going to be the next video that comes out. Yeah, I'm probably going to edit that one and release it on Tuesday, and then hopefully the motherboard roundup will come out. I guess I'll schedule that for next week, because while I would do 2 videos in 1 week, but like I'm struggling to maintain a video a week at the moment, so I guess I should probably space them out, and then if I manage to make a 3rd video, then I can consider moving them up.
Yes.
But yeah.
When you're suddenly just like, oh my goodness, look at all this content I have.
Indeed.
It's coming out of my ears. So
yes. And then, yeah, it'll be a matter of just trying not to have 1,000,001 motherboard overview videos. Whoops, there's a lot of dust coming off of that, so I'm going to try and do this a little bit out of the way. So yes. I also got my Proxmox server up and running, which I was quite happy with. So that's humming away in the corner now, running a Factorio server.
Excellent.
So I need ideas on more stuff to run on that now. So like, I want to get like Home Assistant running on it, and try and get Home Assistant doing something. Like I've got a Bluetooth receiver for playing music in the shop. And I was kind of thinking, because the server is also down in the corner there next to the speakers, and I was kind of thinking maybe I could connect the speakers to the server and maybe have the server act as like a network speaker, effectively. So then I don't have to use the Bluetooth receiver. So then I can play music over Wi-Fi instead of over Bluetooth.
Sorry, just the way you said that, I suddenly imagine just people hacking your server and playing random sounds in your shop. No, I've been data breached.
Yeah.
All they're doing is playing the TF2 NG noises.
Oh no. Put this dispenser here. But yeah.
10 hours of put dispenser.
Yeah. So yes, that's stuff that's happening at the moment. But yeah, I want ideas on stuff to do with like Home Assistant and stuff to run on this server.
Get a door sensor. It senses when the door opens, and as soon as it does, it starts playing music.
I mean, if anything, I want it to be the other way around and just like.
So as soon as you open the door in the morning, you're greeted by music.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah. God.
So you now have your own entrance theme.
Well, that's just it. I started having really cringe ideas of walking into my shop and being like, "Computer, I'm home," and just the lights come on and stuff like that. No, don't. I'm not that much of a nerd, you know.
Well, what else are you going to use it for? It's not ransomware. It's a surprise encryption. It's not a data breach. It's a surprise backup.
Yeah. How's the storm down your way? I mean, it rained today.
It was heckin' windy.
Yeah, it's been windy, but yeah, nothing to write home about, I don't think. So yeah.
Yeah. Windows Update cache server. That's actually not an awful idea.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. Yeah, I've got to write that down because that's a great idea. Notes.
No.
Yeah. Right.
Have it turn on a kettle.
Home Assistant Win Update Cache. Because I hate how slow Windows updates are to download. So yes, that's a cracking idea. Yep. So yeah, because I need to look into that. Do you need to be running Windows Server to run an update cache server?
Probably.
Yeah, because that would mean I'll have to obtain Windows Server, I guess.
Yes, you'll have to obtain a 180-day activation evaluation copy and cycle it every 180 days.
Yeah.
And by that I mean you have a VM that you create, you then save the state of that, and then every 180 days you reload that state. And because it's not being live...
Does it not just look at the clock and go 180 days has passed though?
I can't remember. There was weird stuff you could do with the activation on it and just stuff like that. It was like, I can't remember what it was. Oh, DVD Fab back in the day. You could do weird stuff with that with VM save states. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look. I mean, are there grey market keys for Windows Server?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'll have to have a look at that and see how much it is. Because like, if it costs me like 20 quid for a grey market server key or something like that, I'll just do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, this would be running as a VM. Like the machine is running Proxmox now. Everything will be virtualized. Like that was not up for debate from the beginning because like, who the hell runs a server on bare metal anymore? That's just... This was the whole reason why I wanted to do an actual server hardware and stuff like that, because I have not run any kind of modern server setup, and I wanted to practice setting that up. So yeah, so it would run as a VM, but I would like it would still be nice to have. Oh, but then is there any point? Well, I guess if a grey market key is super cheap, it doesn't matter if I've activated it on a VM. So yeah. So yes, that would be a plan there. Running a macOS Sequoia VM. Why? To do what? Yeah, what would that be doing though?
Why Sequoia?
Yeah, I was going to say that's not even up to date. So yeah, like this is the thing. This is why I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking for stuff that is useful. Because that's yeah. Like Home Assistant. Home Assistant isn't super useful, but I want to learn more about how to do that. So if I find a use case for it, like, or if I want to do it at home, or I have a friend who wants to do it, I can actually be like, oh yes, this is how you would do that.
Apparently a Windows Server Standard 2025 global CD key is like £12 off of Gamers Outlet.
Oh, fine. Yeah, I'll just do that then, because then I don't have to mess around with trying to keep it activated or anything like that. Like, even if that only works for a single VM, which at some point just gets binned, for that amount of money, who cares?
Yeah.
So yeah. So yes.
Yes.
Why a Windows server? Well, I'd be running Windows Server in order to get the Windows Update cache server, but this would be running inside of Proxmox, which is a VM host operating system. And the Windows Update cache server would obviously be extremely useful because I have computers running Windows Update in here every day. I probably waste an awful lot of bandwidth just downloading Windows updates. So having a cache server would be extremely nice. I'm moving the fans around on this case just because the fans are kind of mismatched.
Yeah.
So I'm just moving them around so they're like matched up a bit nicer. They've got two of the fans are static pressure fans that are being used as case fans, which is not really correct, but it's not doing any harm, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, apparently you can also use things other than Windows Server to do Windows Update server caching. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I might do it anyway just to have our Windows Server VM running, because there might be something else that ends up doing by the by, you know. So yeah, because there's probably going to be a couple of VMs on this system that are just doing extra things, because not everything needs its own VM. You know, like, like the Windows Update cache server, I could use that for, what was that other thing that I just saw mentioned in chat that's gone by? Can't find it now. Yeah, but there'll probably be a couple of things. Like, for example, you know, the VM I have that's running the Factorio, server. At some point, that may end up running a couple of instances of Factorio. I don't need to spin up a separate VM for each instance. Yeah. You know, etc., etc. So yeah. No, Windows Server sucks ass. Well, okay. How would you run a Windows Update cache server then? What would you use to run a Windows Update cache server? Serious question. If I shouldn't use Windows Server to run a Windows Update caching server, what should I do? How should I do it?
Yeah.
Really easy to criticize. What would you do instead? So yeah. CCTV. No, I don't bother with CCTV at the moment, but if I did, I'd have a dedicated recorder box for that, just simply because I want something independent. Squid. What is Squid? Is that a Windows Update caching server system? So yeah, WSUS was deprecated. Is that the update cache server? What was it replaced with? Help me, people. Help me out here. Like, come on. I'm trying to learn. Like, yeah. I have noticed this a lot while trying to set up servers. I'll say to someone, I'm trying to do XYZ. Should I do this? And people will be like, you could do that. Okay, should I? Is there something else I should be doing? Come on! I'm giving you a launch. Help me! Help me out here! You know, come on! What the hell? This is the thing. So, yeah. Squid is a caching proxy. For Windows updates, I assume. Like, I don't need a HTTP proxy. That's not what I need. This you can set up in minutes. What? What can I set up in minutes? Oh my god, chat, I'm begging you. Do you see the problem I'm having here? Or are you all trolling me at the same time? WSUS was not deprecated, you twat, says Ken Sutherland. Okay. Body key do. WSUS offline is ISB based. Will do what you want. What is ISB? Chat is worse than Linux support. Yeah. My post probably gets censored because of the link. I don't need links. I need knowledge.
I need complete sentences.
I need sentences.
Sentences which have all of their words in them.
ISN. What is ISN? I don't know what this means. USB. Oh my god, this is agonizing. You pain me, chat. You pain me. You fill me with pain. LAN party game caching made easy. I don't need game caches. I need Windows Update caches. Ah! Oh my god, I feel like I'm talking to an LLM. Okay, right. The project is called LAN Cache. It does Windows Update as well. Okay, thank you. Right, LAN Cache.
After 5 minutes,
LAN Cache is a project that will do Windows Update caching. Okay, that is the bit of information that I'm looking for in this conversation. All right. Now we're getting somewhere. Thank you very much. I'm sorry if I sound frustrated, but like, okay, there is a project called LAN Cache that does Windows Update caching and will save me the trouble of having to run a full Windows Server setup. That sounds good, because I don't super want to run Windows Server, because the problem with Windows Server is it tries to do everything, and I don't want a system that is trying to do everything.
Yeah, it'll do the things you set up on it.
Well, I mean, the last time I set up Windows Server was Server 2003. Specifically Small Business Server 2003, which was specifically designed to try and do everything. Like, after you install it, it immediately wants to set up DHCP, DNS, Active Directory, Internet Information Services. It goes through like the setup wizards for all of these things out of the box. Because it's a small business server. So that's where I'm coming from on this, and I'm like, no, that's not what I want. I want the bare minimum to run a Windows Update cache, because that is the bit that's useful to me. So yeah. It also integrates DNS and reverse proxy. Yeah, I don't need that. Yeah.
I think you do need that.
Oh, I suppose I would need that in order for things to pick it up as a caching server, wouldn't I? Okay, yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise you need to join them, like, through Windows, you'd have to join the Windows machines to your domain to then take over control of where it's getting updates from.
Yeah, and that sucks, yeah.
So it's a case of,
Yeah. Okay, right, so I'm going to quickly write that down. So LAN cache. So I assume LAN cache is Linux-based.
Yeah.
Given that you guys said Windows Server sucks. LAN cache.
Actually, it's cache.
Cache, yeah.
It's like those nuts.
Yeah. And what? And does LAN cache run as its own distro, or do I need to set up a Linux host to do that? So, for example, should I get, say, a Ubuntu VM to run LAN cache for me? Time to embrace Linux mode. Yeah, I'm not against that. I set up the Factorio server. I set that up on Linux deliberately. I could have run that on a Windows VM. However, I was like, no, I'm going to do the Linux version because it will be lighter weight, and I want to start learning more Linux.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Does Proxmox support Docker containers?
I don't know. If it does, that would be cool, because I want to learn about Docker as well.
Yeah.
In Proxmox, you can run it two ways. You either run your own VM or as a virtualized Docker machine.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, yeah. I might set that up as a Docker then, because that would be an excuse to have something running as a Docker in order to learn about Docker.
And also, it's just, in theory, way more efficient.
Yes, yeah. So yes, I also want something to be running... want something to be running my own personal cloud storage, which I'm not going to be using as a replacement for Google Drive quite yet, because I don't have fiber in here yet. But eventually, my long-term goal is for this server to replace replace Google. I don't think I can truly replace Google in my life, but to try and move a lot of stuff off of Google onto my own stuff. So I want something that does cloud hosting as well. Nextcloud, yes, that's the one I'd heard of, yes.
Yeah.
Nextcloud. I had heard of that, Nextcloud.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to start, and like again, does that would that run as its own system, or would that be a set up a virtual machine distro to run that as well?
Yeah, almost all of these are their own effectively operating systems.
Yeah.
So you either run a container for them, or they run like their own custom host OS for it.
Yeah.
So that's what I've seen for an awful lot of stuff. Yeah, the best way to just download the official VM, and then you run like that actual VM package.
Yeah, they have a pre-configured VM machine. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that'll be fun to download and set that up as well, just so I can see the procedure for running a VM that someone else has configured, per se. Yeah. On a similar note, I should yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh yeah, Nextcloud runs how you want it to, Docker, Snap, or VM. Yeah, I'll probably get the VM for it. Yeah, because yeah, this is the nice thing about having Proxmox now is just it's set up really nicely for VMs. I quite like how Proxmox has set itself up. It seems it's very easy to understand for someone who is learning like me, but at the same time, I can see the power that it has on hand. There's a lot of stuff there where I'm just like, oh wow, that's, it's got all of the scaling things. This is what would happen if I had 10 of these servers running, and I'd be managing them all from this interface.
The other thing you can do is you can take your PE environment, and that PE environment can be network bootable.
Yes.
So then just anything that's connected to your network, you can boot that environment.
Yeah, that'd be really cool, actually. I kind of that's not something that I feel like I need, but that's something that would be so cool to have configured. I should collab with Wild Floor Lamp on that, because while obviously there's not a doubt in my mind that there's 1,000,000,001 tutorials on how to set that up, but like Wild Floor Lamp is a big proponent on having custom PE drives and stuff like that, and
just any.
Yeah, and I'm fairly certain that Floor Lamp runs his own PXE PE server as well. So yeah, no doubt he's got a really sweet setup for that, and I like the way that he configures his PE drives. So yeah, that'd be very cool. So yeah, I'm really glad I've got that server turned on and running now, because now these are all things that are now easily implementable. Whereas before, whenever people suggested these ideas, I'm just like, yeah, but now I've got to get a computer and have it turned on and running all the time to do that. And it's just like, now I have the machine set up to do this.
Yeah.
So yes. John K says, Geode Midag. Elaborate, please.
Good midday.
Aha, okay.
As in, hello.
Hello. Guten Tag. Yeah.
Oh, I have a joke that butchers 2 languages.
Okay, tell me your joke.
What does the German baker say in the morning?
I don't know.
Gluten Morgen.
I see. Very well. Okay,
welcome.
right. Do you want to go to face cam? Because I'm going to start. I've got to actually get this thing sorted. Don't forget your UPS to keep it up.
I don't need a UPS to keep it up.
Giggity. But also, honestly, the power here is probably reliable enough that I'm not that fussed. Although I've got that. I've got that Eaton one that Cy gave me, and I guess I could stick that down there because I'm not going to end up using that at home. While I did have a bee in my bonnet about doing that at some point, it's just the rare occasions where we have power outages are not enough to warrant having the setup. But it might be interesting for a server, especially if I'm planning on having the server running like cloud services and stuff like that. If nothing else, just so it's capable of doing graceful shutdowns. So yeah, like I think it's going to be a very long time before that server would be doing anything that I would class as mission critical. But at the same time, if I want it to be able to do mission critical things, then it has to be able to have that degree of reliability to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Ah.
Oh, cables. All right. Is the server board a super micro? No, it's a gigabyte one. Although I need to look at the remote management on it, because the remote management is not config. Well, it has an old configuration on it, and I don't know how to get into it yet. So at some point I need to actually try and reset the remote management, and because it's got a static IP that's not on my current network and stuff like that. So I need to get into it, give it a new static IP, so I have access to that remote management. Because at the moment I've just been plugged. I can plug a monitor, keyboard, and mouse into it and use it, but I can't network remote into it, which is the important thing.
Yeah.
And so far this isn't an issue, because the server turns on, boots up Proxmox, and then I have remote access into Proxmox. So I don't need that. But if something happens to Proxmox, that's when the remote management will start mattering.
Yeah. I don't know. We have reasonably decent power.
Yeah, that's it.
I think I've seen a brownout in my life, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, once in a blue moon, the power might go out.
It mostly just has a power cut every 5 years.
Yeah.
That isn't a planned one.
Yeah, it is infrequent enough that when it happens, when it happens,
you're like,
I go out the front door and all the shopkeepers are just like, "Is your power out too?" Oh, the power's gone out. Oh.
It's dark.
Yeah, and then it comes back on and it was like, oh, okay. And goes back indoors again, By comparison, I have a friend who's recently gone through all the Windows 11 update and stuff like that, and while we were walking them through all of that guide, we were like, okay, we should make sure your BIOS is up to date as well, just because you don't need to update your BIOS for Windows 11, but while you're doing it all, we should probably try and make sure that you're on some kind of recent BIOS. And they were like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to brick my motherboard. And we're like, you're not going to brick your motherboard. And he's like, no, you don't understand. The power goes out here on a weekly basis. This is in Canada, and apparently blackouts are just common there. And on the day,
it's all the bears.
On the day when he was going to do the big upgrade, they messaged me and was just like, I can't do it today. There's a power outage in my province. And just if I had started it this morning, the power would have died while I was midway through. And I'm like, oh, what's going on? And it's just around here, it's an alien concept. But for some people, power outages are just a real and regular thing, which I just find wild in first world countries.
Yeah. We did approximately overbuild to the moon in the early 80s. We built so much capacity.
Yeah.
So much capacity.
Get a network KVM? Why would I do that when I could just use the remote management on the server, though? Serious question. So yeah.
Yeah, trees and ice storms will take out lines.
Yeah, because
I also just don't like that combination statement.
Yeah.
The trees are coming. Fucking 50-meter tall grapepine.
There's a really, really funny video for a Factorio playthrough where it was Factorio with some of the most spiteful mods imaginable installed, including one called Hostile Trees. Yeah, where literally the trees will just like fire flamethrowers if you walk near them, and just like if you go to cut down a tree, there is a 50 chance that it just explodes and kills you and things like that. And just so just every time we have a conversation like this, I just think about the hostile tree mods, and just one section of it where he just like he needs to cut down some forest, so like he throws a couple of grenades into the forest to try and trigger it, and one of the trees catches fire, another tree releases a cloud of toxic smoke, another tree spawns a biter which becomes poisoned by the toxic cloud, is on fire from the fire, runs out of the forest and then dies. And it's just okay. It's so funny. It's so funny. Anyway, but yes, so no, I don't think I'm super fussed about running a UPS. I've got one, so I might put it down there anyway because I can, but I'm not in a hurry for it. So yes.
I want to get one to have one, but beyond that,
yeah. Again, a lot of this stuff I might install at some point, just for the sake of having looked at a system with it set up and configured it, just because at some point now when someone says I need this set up for my office, I can actually turn around and say yes, I do know how to do that because I have done the setup before. So sometimes it's worth setting stuff up not because you need it, but just so you know how to do it. I'm just going to get a damp cloth. And so, that does give reason to set up a couple of these ideas that I've shot down, I suppose. But still.
Yes.
Habba-dabba-da. Need to do a fan swap on it. Yes. Likewise, that's the other reason why I need to get into the remote management for that server, is the case fans on it are currently running at 100%. Which is just louder than it needs to be. The CPU cooler on it is dead silent. That Noctua doesn't make a whisper.
Yeah.
But the case fans in it are fairly noisy. I've got it buried down the back of the sofa, so it's perfectly tolerable. I would just like to get it a little bit quieter, just for the sake of niceness, I guess. Because I can hear it from here,
Like, I know nothing about UPSs, UPIs. But it's like, sometimes I look at them and I'm just like, okay, your pricing structure makes no sense. Here is a 6,000 volt amp one for £1,200.
Okay.
Here is a 6,000 volt amp one for £3,100.
Yeah.
Here's a 10,000 volt amp one for £1,700. It's like, huh?
Yeah.
So I can go 4,000 volt amps higher for less money?
Yeah.
What?
I
get more capacity for less money?
Yeah, I guess it depends what other features they have. But then on the other hand, they're all going to have some amount of remote management and some software control and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
Like, they all have that now. So, what other features would you be getting? Maybe, is there service or guarantee or something like that, maybe?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There was just kind of a case where I was just like, hold on, what?
Yeah. Right. Scanning through the chat again.
Yes.
Check for new BIOS on this PC. Yeah, I should probably do that since we're here. Yeah, I'll pick that up in a minute when I've finished connecting it all up. All right. Okay. Oh yeah, that's the cables I wanted to reroute.
Yes.
What is this? Oh, it's gross. Okay. A SATA cable was going, strange routing. That can come up there.
Yes.
I'm not going to make these cables amazing, because that's not, we're not here to do that. I'm just going to make them not awful.
Yeah. Also, the ones that you just don't have something to plug into.
Yeah,
just put out of the way.
Yeah, pull them back around the back and just do a little bit of rerouting just to make it nice. Do that. There we go. What was the thing I was about to move? Oh yeah, the EPS cable needs moving.
Oh, I see. I couldn't work out why there was a SATA chain disappearing up here, but it wasn't. It was the one that the hard drive's plugged into, but it had just been looped up to here.
I see,
but it looked like it was disappearing out here, and I was like, what do you have hidden up here? What have you done? But no.
Right.
Yes. Volt-amps are not equal to watts. No. There's a difference between apparent and real power. Yes.
Yeah, I'll never fully wrap my head around that. Well, I'll rephrase that. I understand, but the problem now is just like I understand that VA is not the same as watts and such. However, I don't understand what to do with this information, because I'm like, okay, well, it's that old story of like, okay, well, how do I calculate how many volt-amps I need if I'm speccing a power supply, a UPS? Then, if I have a server that averages 200 watts on average, how big does my UPS need to be? And stuff like that.
Yes, it's as far as I understand it, it's functionally a case of watts divided by hours of uptime needed, or minutes of uptime needed, effectively. So if it's 200 watts and you need 30 minutes, you need 400?
Oh.
Just
got a bare wire here. How did that happen?
No idea.
Right,
but it was just hanging around in the front.
Yeah.
It wasn't plugged in, it was just hanging around in the front.
Oh, I tell you what, I think that's
also just a 2-pin.
That's the power button. That probably explains why it didn't turn on. Because when it turned on, I jumped it with a screwdriver. Yeah. So that's probably why it didn't turn on the first time, because the power button is killed. Wow, that must have just caught a sharp edge and just been pulled out or something like that. That's annoying. What are we going to do about that? I'm going to have to splice another one on, aren't I? How annoying.
Yeah, it certainly goes up to the front. Yeah.
Where's my crimping kit? Have I got something in here that I could put on it? Cut and solder on another, yeah. Just going to see if I've got something else first. I've got a crimping kit here.
I'm going to crimp some really tiny connectors.
Yeah.
And then just crimp it onto the motherboard.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything small enough in this kit. Oh, no, wait, I do. Yes, I do. Ha-ha, ha-ha, ha-ha.
Ha-ha.
Yes, right. I have a 2P housing with female and male terminals. Right, I want female, don't I? Ah, nice.
2 whole pence? No expense spared.
Okay. As a special treat, I might get the pins the right way around.
Isn't it a switch?
Yes. Well, in that case, I've got a pretty good chance then, haven't I? Shakes Magic 8 Ball. Outlook looks good. Right.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Wait,
Did you just put the crimping tool away?
No. Sawing it, solder the wire onto motherboard. If I met someone who did that, I would immediately suggest that someone else punches that person in the face.
So when Si turns up next time with a VenaScope PC, where he soldered the power switch,
I will tell him to go back where he came from. Kent. Go
back to where you came from. Kent.
with the rest of your kind. Okay.
You're all Kens. Wait.
Right. Okay, I do need to strip the wires before crimping them, don't I? For these? I believe so. I'm going to anyway, I guess. Huh? Send him to the north. Okay, look, that's just cruel and unusual. Right.
Solder seal butt connectors. I don't know what the context was for this message.
Beggars Belief asks, why do Windows PCs have fans? My MacBook don't have one. Modern Macs are really power efficient, so they just don't need fans anymore, which is pretty cool, I think. And modern PCs are just not quite there yet. So yeah, we are seeing power improvements. Like we were talking at the start of the stream about Intel. So, you know, balls. These are really fiddly. So, you know, we're heading in the right direction. We're just not quite there yet. Right. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to just pick one and try it out. That's the right way around, yeah.
Oh, I see.
I might need to do a test run here. Release. Release me. Right. What way round in does this go? I've used this crimper like once. So if it looks like I don't know what I'm doing, it's because I don't know what I'm doing. That's going to go in there. Goes the other way around, that's why it doesn't make sense. Okay, that's going to go that way around. Cool, okay. All right, let's try that again. I hate doing this kind of thing on stream because it requires me to actually stop talking and focus for a moment to understand what I'm trying to do. Get out the way, other wire. There we go. Not bad. The wire didn't fully go into the connector properly, so that's not great. Actually, that's going to fall off. So yeah, I'm going to pull that off and do another one.
I'm going to now put you on camera.
Yeah. However, I
somewhat worked out what you're doing.
Yeah, I have understood the assignment. Let's get another one of those.
Is it the correct size?
Yes. Well, it is our size. Yeah, I didn't have the wire far enough in, basically, so it just jumped out of place.
Oh, wrong way.
Okay, we're going to do that. The problem is the connector doesn't stay on its own accord. So yeah. Right, so that's on there, and I've just got to cram this in. So I'm going to try and do that. Just making sure the wire is in. I think it is. Yeah, there we go. So the actual wire got crimped that time. Yeah, nice. Is that even the right size? Did I actually pick the right one? Yeah, beautiful. Huzzah.
Excellent. Did it.
I think I picked up this crimping kit for like 20 quid on Amazon with a box of various connectors. Most of these are pretty useless to me, but it does have these 2 and multiple pin housings on them. So yeah, I originally bought it so I could crimp microfit connectors, but it also has these other pin header stuff. So while, this is about 20 quid, so probably worth picking one of these up at some point, because as you can see, it's now giving me the ability to fix this properly without doing bodge repairs. And while the amount of time this is taking me, I probably could have soldered it, but this will look a lot better than a solder job. So,
do you now want to solder it?
No, because it doesn't need to be, because it's been crimped.
You're confident in the crimping?
Yes.
Excellent.
Go. There.
Smashing.
Done. Like I bought one. Good. Right, so now we've got our front headers again.
Excellent. Why would you heat? No, don't heat shrink one of them.
You don't need to. It's been crimped. It doesn't need soldering. It doesn't need heat shrinking. It doesn't need anything. It's crimped. It is literally a factory finish.
Now you find it's the wrong size pins.
Yeah. Don't overthink it. It is now a freshly crimped noodly boy. Alright, so the blank one is a power connector. Reset switch goes down the back.
I'll greatly annoy you. There we go.
Thanks. To be honest, the computer's not straight anyway, so you can argue with chat about that. Right, power LED. Good. Right. It's almost useful that we found that, because now we've solved the issue of why it didn't boot earlier on, because that was troubling. Okay, no, seriously, can we be straight, please? That was slightly bothering me, because I'm like, I don't know why it didn't start earlier on, and that's weird. But yes, we have found an issue and fixed it. Right, I'm going to... Can I thread these? Yes. Right, chassis fan and AIO pump. Oh, I don't want to...
What's on the top of the board?
CPU and CPU optional, I assume. Let me just check that. Yeah, CPU and CPU optional. AIO pump, that probably can be remapped to be a chassis fan anyway, but it will be listed in a weird place in the BIOS, so I don't really want to do that. So I might run... We've got chassis fan 2 and 3 down the bottom, so I think I'm going to run both of these all the way down the back to the bottom, rather than plugging them in there. I was going to run them under this VRM heatsink and hide all the wire in there, but I'll actually put them down the back to the bottom headers. So yeah, as I say, the AIO pump header, this will have exactly the same functionality as all the other headers, but it will be listed in a separate category in the BIOS, which is just kind of annoying when you're setting up the fans. If you want to put us back on face cam, because I'm going to be like this for a while now.
And also is by default mapped to 100%.
Probably, yeah. So at some point, if it gets a BIOS reset, it just means that one fan will just be going, ah! So on the... I have no idea why.
Many.
I'm just fumbling with a...
fan header, because you're looking through the back of the case.
The pins, yeah, I'm looking through the gaps in the back of the case.
YouTube still says we're connected, but YouTube's just having issues.
Do you want to type into chat that we've got green lights on our end, so just wait for it to come back or something?
Yeah. Appears to be having issues. Studio still reports that we are connected without issue.
Grr.
Now would be a good time to insert ads. Sure.
pads inserted.
No idea.
Okay, well, I'm sure they'll be back in a moment.
Yeah. Because apparently, yeah, we've dropped no frames, etc., etc.
Yeah. Oh, balls, I haven't put the other fans in and they need to go down the bottom. This motherboard has annoyingly few fan headers on it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to see what fan splitters I've got.
I was going to say, why don't you use one of the 4 fan headers up by the fans?
Uh-huh. Well, yeah, they're just... I don't want to use CPU and CPU optional, because those are obviously tied to CPU fan speed. So, yeah. However, I will have to move those to... I'll just use chassis fan 1 and AIO pump. That's the answer here. I'm going to stop grizzling and just use those headers. I'm just annoyed because I was just like, aha, I'll use these headers. And, oh, I actually need some more headers.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I don't like these 4 headers.
Well, you can't... You shouldn't plug your chassis fans into CPU and CPU optional.
Why?
Well, where am I going to plug the CPU fan?
Well, you put one of the fans into chassis fan 1 and one of the fans into CPU optional, and then the one CPU fan goes into CPU fan.
But the problem is you use CPU optional, so now one of your case fans is going to be ramping with the CPU fan. CPU optional tracks the CPU.
Okay, then change the fan curve.
But it's paired to the CPU fan. They're both identical.
Oh, what?
On most boards?
On none of the ones I've used.
Well, you know what? When we get this turned on and we look in the BIOS, we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah. All right, then remap the AAIAIO then.
The EIEIO?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do. All right. All right.
I don't know. I'm going to get drunk to deal with this.
Chat, call a marriage calculator. Calculator? Counsellor. All right. I will reroute these fans again.
Do you want general pit rivers?
I'm good at the moment, to be honest. I'm going to carry on drinking my KX Orange Isotonic sports drink.
The hurdle maker.
Thought you said the herbal maker then. I'm just like, aha, that sounds interesting.
These are my herbal teas. The smuggler.
For medicinal use.
Medicinal smuggler. The shepherdess.
This might have been a mistake. I might be overthinking this.
Have you considered the white wigs? There seem to be several generals.
Yeah, there's a couple of those left over as well, so...
What is the general? Lightly sparkling medium Dorset cider.
Okay, right, there we go. Good grief. Whew. All right.
The father of British archaeology, with the Farnham Museum and Llama Tree Gardens to his name. Huh. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I like your words, Magic Man.
General Pitt Rivers. Okay.
As opposed to specialist Pitt Rivers. There's a joke in there somewhere.
Yes. I still think the best name if you join the army is enlisted. Its surname to have is Parts.
Very good. Every time you... No, it's okay. All right. Every time you use that bottle opener, it looks like you've slipped and something awful is happening. Okay, right. I'm going to catch up on chat super quick because I'm flapping with these. All right. All right. What's the Llama Tree Garden? Well, might be to do with the nearby Llama Tree Festival, which is a local thing that happens.
It's a music festival.
Yes.
That happens at Llama Tree.
Is that actually the name of the place, the Llama Tree? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to...
You are somehow... No, Graham.
It's going to be neat and tidy.
Graham.
It's going to be neat and tidy.
Graham.
No, that's not going to work. Okay.
Graham. Just plug the fans in.
But the cables need to be hidden.
Did you see the state it was in beforehand?
And that's why it's here.
No, the reason it's here is it didn't turn on.
And it has a hard drive in it. I'm going to make it better. Shh, 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 shh. No more tears.
I feel like I need to drink heavily to get through this. Caradox, please take over. Yeah,
No more dreams, only tears. I can do it. No. It's going to be great.
Aren't you glad you two don't work together every day? It'd be fine. Graham wouldn't enjoy it.
I had it. Then I lost it.
Oh my God.
I will concede this isn't worth it, but I'm committed. I'm this far in. I am just being stubborn at this point.
Yes, the shop would be tidy because there would be very little in here. It would have all gone in the white bags that are right here. The bags to dispose of the waste. The waste disposal bags.
I'm going to put you in a bag in a minute. Why? Oh, come on.
How long have you two known each other? Too long. Too damn long.
You know what would be really funny is in a minute I'm going to tug on this wire and a connector will come off and then I'll have to crimp a new connector onto it.
But yes. 15 years?
Yeah, it must be about that. Yeah. Yeah. 2012-ish, I guess it was, wasn't it? 2011?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, right. This time, pushing it through. There it is at the other end. I grab it with the...
Oh my God.
I've done this so many times.
So many hours wasted.
Yeah. You know, you could start a topic. You could, like, talk.
Dear God. I don't know. What were we on about? What were we talking about? What were we complaining about earlier?
Let's see. Right. I'm gonna back read the chat. Chat, help me.
So help me if you fumble for another minute. See.
All right. What else is new in the tech world, folks? What are people talking about at the moment?
What's new? I don't know what else has been announced recently.
Xbox seems to be imploding, which I think is slightly interesting because I'm just
so
like
confused about their plan.
Yeah, because it feels like they're imploding, but I'm just like, you guys are part of a duopoly. Like, What, are you just going to leave it so it's just PlayStation? What's your plan?
I don't
What's
know.
your goal here, you know?
I don't know. I don't understand.
Yeah, Xbox doesn't need to be good. It just has to exist. Yet somehow that seems to be a struggle for them at the moment.
Yeah.
Which I find very strange.
Yeah, I don't get it, because it feels like it's a thing where Microsoft could, if they cared, put Sony and Nintendo out of business. If they actually cared about Xbox, they could put both of them out of business. Because they own every single game publisher.
Yeah.
And you know what they could do? They could go, Game Pass is £1.99 a month, and it comes with a Series X. Couldn't they? Because they have that amount of capital behind them compared to the amount that Sony has. So they could just go, you could buy a PlayStation, or you could get an Xbox for free for £1.99 a month. They have that level of capital that they could play that game.
I mean, yeah, maybe not to that extreme, but that principle, sure.
They have the capital to do stuff like that and just go, we own the entire market, now all games cost $150. Hope you enjoy paying our prices. Because what are you going to do? Not play games?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, but instead they're going, we're just not going to release games and we're going to set fire to $60 billion.
Yeah.
Huh? I don't understand the business proposition.
Yeah, it's that is the real source of the confusion. Is just that there's so much that they have the potential to do, but just don't seem to be doing.
Yeah.
And it's proving all the naysayers are being proven right. You know, all the people who said Microsoft are going to fumble this, that, and the other because they fumble everything. I've actually got these stuck, and I'm taking the motherboard out. I'm just going to get on with it anyway. All the naysayers have been proven right, and it's just kind of wild because I'm like, I'm not saying that you guys were wrong, but you should have been wrong. It's, you know, it's...
like there seems to be no strategy.
Yeah.
And also, fumble, you say.
Shush, yeah.
Yeah. But, like, it seems like it'd be so much capacity for Microsoft just to push everyone else out of the market. Now that they bought Actiblizzard and so on, they have a console that functions.
Yeah, the consoles are fine.
They could
Xbox
sell those consoles
fine.
for so cheap
Yeah.
that it would be stupid to buy anything else. They can give away all the games on it because they've already paid for them. But you only give them away for free on an Xbox console. And then you make lots and lots of consumers go, oh, actually, why am I paying money for a PlayStation when I can get everything for free by buying the Microsoft one?
Yeah, I feel like they could go into a period where just like, you know, sure, if they're subsidizing everything heavily, then, you know, maybe they're not making a huge amount of money, but they could just buy market share and buy mind space, especially at a time when PlayStation is also pretty weak right now. Like during the heyday of the PS4,
I would say the PlayStation's really strong by comparison, but it has nothing giving it strength. It is just not becoming weak.
It's inertia, yeah, because like certainly, you know, previously PlayStation during the heyday of the PS4 and stuff was doing great because you had all those really strong first-party titles.
Yeah.
You know, you had God of War, you had Horizon, you had Spider-Man. You know, there were, when people were just like, why should I buy a PS4? You could point to those first-party games and be like, there's a lot of really good first-party single-player AAA experiences out there where you'll play an adventure game and have a really good time. You know, that was the reason to buy a PlayStation. But like, that has kind of really ground to a halt as of late, and they don't seem to have anything new coming along here.
And it is kind of the case of the PlayStation 5 is the default console answer, because Xbox is so dead Like, do you know how much the RRP is for a 2 terabyte Xbox Series X in the US is?
No.
$800.
God, that's PS4 prices. Although that's 2 terabyte, but then on the other hand, that's kind of what you need.
Do you know what you could buy though? For $100 less?
What?
PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah.
The PS5 Pro is $100 less and accepts normal M.2 SSDs. Do you know what you can do? You can put a 4 terabyte SSD in there for 200 quid.
Yeah.
So you pay £100 more, you get a better console, and you have 4 terabytes of storage, not 2.
Yeah. The Xbox needs to be cheap. I think whatever you think about the Microsoft's games strategy and stuff, they need to make the Xbox cheap. And price people out of the PlayStation. Be like, yeah, the PS5 is expensive, man, and you're not even getting all of those exclusives anymore. Come to Xbox, and we need to bring back the era of indie, and this is the thing.
But yeah,
I said this on the Discord the other day of I guess we'll see how it goes with their plans for the Xbox, the ASUS Xbox Ally X or whatever it's called.
Yeah, but it's also going to be £1,000 or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it's too expensive, and it's just like, for what? That bristling Microsoft store?
Yeah.
No, my guy, you're going to install Steam on that shit,
Almost certainly. Yeah, no, I don't know. I own a couple of games, I can't remember how many, through the Xbox store. Because I bought them through the Xbox store because they were console release, Xbox, PlayStation, and Epic Game Store exclusive. But I could buy the Xbox version and play anywhere on PC, therefore playing the Epic exclusive without giving Epic money.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I bought it. But it's just like, what?
Yeah, so it seems very strange at the moment because...
it seems like such... But I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that somehow it magically turns out okay.
Yeah.
But also...
What baffles me is
I don't see it.
Yeah. What baffles me is... there's a magnet around here somewhere. There it is.
Is magnets? How do they work?
Like that. Anyway, yeah. What baffles me is for quite a long time, there's been naysayers saying, "Oh, Xbox is dead" and stuff like that, and I'm like, but it doesn't need to be. There seems to be no reason why Xbox is dead and dying.
Yeah.
Because the console, hardware-wise, is completely fine, and Microsoft have got access to lots of game studios, and I'm sure Microsoft could do a lot of deals with a lot of indie devs. And we also know
that was what was great about the original Xbox.
Yeah.
The original Xbox, Microsoft went out to a bunch of indie studios and said, "Hey, release your game on our brand new console.
Yeah.
We'll help you release it. We'll publish it."
Yeah. And in addition to that, we also know, because of just sort of recent news of recent era, that apparently publishing on the Switch is a pain in the arse.
Yeah.
It's an absolute pain in the arse.
But
so Microsoft could be going to all of these indie devs and say, drop the Switch, come to Xbox.
But you go to Xbox, you have 20 million potential purchasers. You release on Switch, you have 110 million.
Yeah, that's
it's like, why would you as a game developer bother with Xbox?
Yeah, market cap is so much
when
bigger,
it's
isn't
in
it?
that scale. Is a case of, Microsoft would basically have to be saying, release it on Xbox, and we will double whatever your sales revenue is. We will give you your sales revenue again. You know?
I guess the question is, how long would they have to do that in order to get market share back? Because it's all very well saying, oh, Microsoft have got all of this money, they can afford to do it, but also they have to actually start making a profit again at some point. So where's the strategy back to profit? If you're going to subsidize everything.
Well, it depends on the burn rate of Sony, doesn't it?
Oh, what, you just try and outlast your opponent?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the only play I see they realistically, feasibly have.
Yeah, especially given that Sony just, aren't in a great place either.
Is you basically have to make it so you can take 55%, say, of all game sales as the Xbox platform, and then Sony, Nintendo, PC is everything else. And then you say to game developers, if you release on Xbox, you're not allowed to launch anywhere else. You'd have to move into that strong arm position, so you're no longer subsidizing it.
Yeah.
But it's a case of kind of, there's so many.
Yeah, I mean Microsoft wouldn't do that because like Microsoft have been building on a multi. They've been trying to do a multi-platform approach for a while, so that'd be a massive 180 on their general vibe.
Well, yeah, but they've been playing anywhere on PC, haven't they? Xbox and PC.
Oh yes, I suppose. Yeah.
So you can't have a Switch version. Sorry, I meant you can't have a Switch version.
Yes.
You couldn't have a Stadia version if Stadia existed. You couldn't have a Google. You couldn't have a
basically,
NVIDIA GeForce Now.
It's exclusive
version.
in the sense of no Switch, no PlayStation.
Yeah, it's Microsoft exclusive. Sorry, that's a better word. There we go.
Yes.
To kind of, it's a case of it doesn't matter where you sell it, but we're the only ones who are allowed to make money off of it. Good. You want some thermal paste?
What did it cost? Everything.
Excellent. Time to apply vast quantities of psi.
Yes.
Or actually, no, it's GD900, isn't it?
Yes.
Just a massive.
Where is? Oh, there it is.
It's so large, I've lost the syringe.
Yeah, I got to use this wretched stuff up. Ugh.
I basically just go. Because
I don't want to waste it.
You've got to fill in all these holes.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Just go.
I have marked the spot.
Excellent. But yeah, no.
You know, someone posted that link the other day about 3D printed thermal paste masks.
Nope. But okay.
Oh, in the Discord, someone posted a link where you could 3D print a thermal paste mask. So you put it over, and you could then spread your thermal paste, and it would give you it would mask out the thermal paste pattern that
so you could have your anime waifus.
Well, specifically, it was for X marks the spot or a grid pattern and so on.
Oh, I see.
But I was just like, I could do one that just puts the Adamant IT logo down, which would just look really pimp for a couple of seconds, you know.
Okay.
So yes. Needs third front fan. Yeah, we don't have a third front fan, but I think 2 is fine. I prefer 3, but 2 is okay.
Also, yes, I believe the word is stencil.
Stencil, yes.
We have been suitably informed by chat.
A rare occurrence.
Wasn't me. Wasn't me.
Not me picking fights with chat.
Like coffee foam art. Yes. Hello.
Yeah, well, I did see. Someone did also post a picture that was like sort of thermal paste art with waifu, but it was AI generated, so immediately written off as fake and gay.
Hello 2011. I haven't missed you.
It's not fake and gay anymore, it's now fake and AI, so it's just fake and A.
Okay.
Alright. That's twice I've tried that joke and twice it hasn't landed, so I'm just going to abandon it now.
Yeah, so an hour and 45 minutes in, and does the computer work yet?
Soon. Well, the computer does work, yeah. However, as you guys will see, it's going to look nice. I'm taking my time.
Okay.
I'm wiping things down as I put them in and stuff like that. It's going to be great.
Okay.
Got somewhere to be or something, you know?
I'm just going to blow all this dust back into the computer.
Y'all are, no faith. Ye of little faith.
Yes.
Could have taken that cooler apart, but that's getting a bit overkill. We'll just... There we go. It's looking nice now. It's looking nice. Customer's going to get back a computer that they can actually feel proud of. There we go. That's that. Right, screws in, front on, and we're done.
Beep boop. Okay, Nightbot. I don't know what Nightbot did, but yes. A PC that they'll be proud to have back that has Windows on a hard drive.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it still needs an SSD, but fine.
Unless it had an SSD in, the only reason that the heatsink is missing is because they took it with them.
This board doesn't have a top heatsink.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I remember this board specifically doesn't come with one, which is weird because it's got one on the bottom, but it just doesn't have one on the top.
Oh.
No idea why.
Okay.
So yeah, normal behaviour for this board if my memory serves me. Good. Right. Stick the front on and I'm done with this machine because, yeah, I'll need to talk to the customer about SSDing it, so I'm not going to bother doing that on stream.
Oh, that's how the dust filter, where that dust filter was from, even.
Yes.
England. Do you know the size of a hard drive? 3.5 inch.
The size of the hard drive is, who cares? It's a hard drive.
It's 24 terabytes. Okay, we care a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I am actually thinking about storage for that server as well. Like,
yes.
I had a 2 terabyte hard drive kicking around, so I lobbed that in the front just so it had some bulk storage. And like, I've got a couple of 1 terabyte hard drives kicking around, and it was very tempting to just slap them all in there. But I'm like, great, now I've got like just 70 watts of shitbox hard drives spinning away there now, you know? So like, I don't want to be that guy. I have the means to be that guy, but I don't want to be that guy. And I'm like, kind of want to buy just a big, you know, I don't need lots of storage, but like, yeah, I might pick out one of the bigger drives from this machine and move it over there.
Yeah. I'd definitely look at picking up like a 12 or a 16 terabyte.
Yeah, like a 12.
Two of them.
Yeah, 12 would be good.
You know, 2, 10, 12, 16, that sort of size.
Yeah, see,
so you can then mirror them.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good idea, actually. Yeah, like,
yeah.
I mean, even a pair of 8s would be fine.
Yeah.
Because to put things in perspective, I mostly live on a 100 gig Google Drive.
Oh yeah, but it was just a case of, because last I checked, 10 gigs were cheaper than 8s.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A pair of 10s in mirror, that would give me enough redundancy for the use case.
Enough redundancy for the drive failing, and then the fact you're going to back it up anyway.
Yeah.
Separately is a case of you've got redundancy.
What would the backup solution for that be like? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the problem. Then is once you now have a potential 10 terabytes of data, that now you're now into data volumes where backing up is not really as simple as just connecting an external hard drive to it.
Well, functionally, you back it up just by having a third 10 terabyte hard drive that's not plugged in. The only reason you're mirroring the other ones is because they're live. So they're more likely to have an in-use failure.
Yeah.
And then the third one that's cold
is
the protecting 8's accidental deletion. or you have 3 drives now, so you ZFS it.
Yeah, I mean, we're ZFSing anyway. But so what would your suggestion then? That the cold drive just gets swapped out with one of the hot drives once a month or something, and it rebuilds the array or something?
And you just copy the data onto it, effectively. But yeah.
Yeah, you don't need redundancy for everything. Yeah, like I'm not convinced about the mirroring, but
well, it's just if it was going to have all of your Google Drive on there, all of your hostings, etc., etc.
Yeah,
it's just a case of it means that if a drive fails, you go, oh, it's failed.
Yeah,
and put a new drive in there, and then you're still up and running. You don't have to reconfigure anything, and there's no data loss.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to think of this long term because, I guess this won't really be relevant until I'm actually using it for production stuff rather than experimental.
Yeah.
So I guess it just depends on how quickly I get to that area, and I'll have to think about what I actually use as my sharing strategy there, because Proxmox has got ZFS on it and can do this stuff, but would it be better to spin up a TrueNAS VM and actually let that do the big storage or whatever, you know?
I have no idea. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are literally no motherboards with Thunderbolt 5. Does Thunderbolt 5 even exist yet?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
sure?
I thought 4 was still the latest.
Are you sure?
Side panel. I'm doing the peel on that. There we go. The inner peel had not been done. Let's see. Opinions on getting a B580 to replace a 6600.
Oh yes, Thunderbolt 4. Oh, okay.
B580 to replace a 6600. Yeah. I'm not sure that the upgrade is big enough. What's the performance differential there?
Going from what?
A 6600. 84%.
It's about 20%.
Yeah.
But
oh yeah, sorry, I was looking at the 6600 XT. Yeah.
But it gives you 2 more gigs of VRAM, 4 more gigs of VRAM. What is it? It's 12. It's 12, isn't it? No, scroll the page. Thank you. Yeah, it's 12 instead of 8. So
yeah,
that adds an extra 50p to the value.
Yeah. What would the other option be?
How much? 7600 XT. 6700 XT.
Yeah. See, I'd almost be tempted to suggest going with a second-hand 6800 XT or a second-hand
6700.
Yeah.
Is the performance tier. And it's about the same price.
I was going to say paying a little bit extra, but then the 6700 XT gives you another 10%, so now you're up to a 30% performance boost. My concern is that buying a new graphics card for a 20% boost isn't much. In my opinion, I'm like, is it worth that upgrade? It will be faster, but is it worth paying for that much, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm kind of inclined to be like, I would save a bit more money and get, or again, buying second hand, you might be able to get more for your money there, is my inclination. Yeah. You can have an Open Media Vault VM on top of your Proxmox.
Oh, okay.
What does Open Media Vault do? Is that does that provide a bit more management for the storage that Proxmox has connected to it, or something? You know, or is it just an alternative to TrueNAS? Because with TrueNAS, I would pass the drives directly through to the TrueNAS VM and share them from there. But if Proxmox is already running ZFS, something that can sort of sit on top of that would kind of be nice. But then, Yeah. It's basically a NAS distro. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because like a 6800 XT is £270, which is £20 more than a new B580.
Yeah, that's it. So I think a
that's not
second-hand
awful.
6800 XT is going to be sort of world-altering from a 6600. Whereas the B580, that's going to be nice, but I'm not convinced you're going to feel that price as much.
Whoop. Yeah, and a 7700 is 230. Nope. Yeah, like 330. So, yeah.
There we go. Right, that's on.
Don't really get that
I'm just going to
option
see if I
either.
can find the... Have I got the thumb screws for this?
I still find the comparison kind of ridiculous. That you can buy a 6800 for £270.
Yeah.
Or sorry, £230, and you have the same performance as a 2080 Ti,
Yeah.
slightly more VRAM,
Yeah.
and you're using slightly less power, but second-hand, the prices aren't the same.
Yeah. What's a 2080 Ti go for?
Last time I saw, it was like £50 more.
Yeah.
And I was just like, huh.
Yeah. And it's not like you're even getting RTX performance out of it either, because the 2080 Ti, like that's first gen RTX, so it's not exactly anything to write home about anyway.
Yeah, but compared to a 6800, it will still probably be faster.
Yeah. It'll do it at the very least.
But still, it's just kind of... It's funny, some of the match-ups for performance compared to second-hand pricing.
There we go. Yeah. AMD all the way, baby. Still lots of people who I think just have not considered AMD as viable. Like the recent video I did where I was speccing up that PC, and I said, like I will concede that I said, this is about on par with a 5070 Ti. However, I don't believe NVIDIA deserves your money, and I left it at that. I did not elaborate any further.
Yeah.
So, like, I didn't either, but there was a comment from someone saying NVIDIA would be better. Now, I didn't elaborate either, but also it was slightly annoying there. I was just like, but would they be, And this is the thing.
I think I saw a comment from someone saying the 5070 would have been better, and I was like, but how?
Yeah.
How would the slower card have been better?
Yeah, that's the thing.
If you'd said the 5070 Ti would have been better, I'd have been like, yes, I can hear your argument for this.
Yeah.
But the card that's like 20% slower, no, I don't really see your point.
But in any case, there's still a really strong sentiment that NVIDIA is just better than AMD.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, look, we can have this discussion about RTX performance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think, people need to see AMD as an actual viable option.
It certainly is.
When you see the much better pricing, that's now something you can consider. Whereas a lot of people just there's still that mindset. And like I had this mindset for a while where I was like, I knew that AMD were probably okay, but I always went with NVIDIA just in case. And I think that's still a mindset that a lot of people have and need to drop and see AMD now as a 100% viable option.
Yeah.
And certainly, while AMD as a company obviously are no more your friend than anyone else is, but certainly their graphics card division should be encouraged, as if nothing else, as an attempt to try and hold back NVIDIA from just becoming a de facto monopoly,
It's also the case of just the fact that, at least right now, there is a reason to buy them, and there is the value there to buy them. When there isn't a reason to buy them and there isn't the value there to buy them,
then we won't be shilling them. Yeah.
Then it's a case of the recommendation isn't useful. So it's kind of that thing of certainly currently when there is.
Yeah, there was a really weird reflection on top of the graphics card there, and I'm like, what is that? but it's just a reflection.
It is the kitchen roll.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Could you grab me a BIOS for this, please?
No, because I don't know what the motherboard is.
The motherboard is a TUF X570.
Good.
Plus Wi-Fi, yeah.
Plus Wi-Fi?
Yes, plus Wi-Fi.
Plus Wi-Fi? Notify me. No, do not notify me. Just give me the BIOS. Oh.
I had a customer not long ago who was unironically calling it Wi-Fi. And like, I tried to sort of subtly correct them by saying sort of like the Wi-Fi, sort of like wink wink nudge nudge, it's pronounced Wi-Fi. But when you do this with customers, they just double down and carry on anyway, and he just kept saying Wi-Fi, and I'm just like, okay.
What about your wife's eye? This is my wife's eye.
I see. Right, in shocking news, it's taking forever to boot up because it's a hard drive.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Wi-Fi.
Right. Oh, I shouldn't have let it start booting up. Now we have to wait for it.
Why are we waiting?
Ugh. Also, the fans are really loud. Because one of them is plugged into the AIO header, which is just at 12 volts. The Wi-Fi is a Dutch invention. The pronunciation you deem false is actually right.
If we were speaking Dutch. Which is just bad German.
Right. When you think that the keyboard, when you think the keyboard isn't turned on because it's not responsive, but in reality it's just not plugged in.
I was about to say, where have you even plugged it in?
Shut. I was about to be like, no, the computer's just that slow, but yeah, no, actually that's my bad. Okay, right.
No, it is just that slow.
It is also that slow, yeah. Okay. We had a loading spinner just to get to the type in your pin then. Oh, this thing's going to need a lot of work in service.
Yeah.
Just wait for this to get to BIOS and then we'll do capture just so there's something to look at.
The wireless fireless.
Copy first to SSD and maintenance is faster. Yeah, whenever I'm working on jobs like this, it's one of the reasons why I won't bother doing any software servicing on it right now, because if it's going to get SSD'd, I will just immediately get it on an SSD and then start servicing. What are you doing? Why are we still on the restart screen? It went black for ages, so I started tapping delete, and now it's just come back up saying, I'm restarting. And I'm like, ah! I'm just going to push the reset button in a minute. But yeah, no SSD yet. I need to talk to the customer about it first. I mean, there's not a doubt in my mind that they're going to say yes, because they basically don't have a choice. However, yeah. I'm not going to do that on stream anyway, so it can wait until next week. Oh my god, I'm just hitting the reset button. Not waiting for that.
Oh dear. Did it.
Right, okay. Let's see, advanced mode. Show the people. All right, yeah, BIOS is ancient, 2021. So let's go ahead and...
Tool,
Tool.
I guess.
Flash 3 utility. Tough gaming. Important notice.
This will now encrypt your BIOS. Your BIOS will be BitLockered.
Do you really want to update? Do you really? Yes, I do. There we go. Good, right, that's on the way.
Did it.
Right. Right, so update that, stick some fan curves on it so it's not noisy as all hell, and then that will be nicely cleaned up. And just, yeah, the computer actually looks presentable now. Just lots of wiping down, and I'm just going around little bits with a toothbrush just to get the little just grimy marks off of it that just make it look old.
I was going to say, you'll need to go over this.
Oh, I can't see that in the light from here. Oh wow, yeah, gross. Yeah, I could not see that from the angle I was at.
You'll need to fix this. All of this.
Yes, coffee mugs have been put on top of this thing. These meshes are such a pain to clean.
Stick them in the washing up bowl and use a sponge.
Yeah, actually kind of thinking that. I'm not going to do that right now, but like I might do that off stream. I'll just see what this looks like in a minute.
Coffee mugs for water cooling.
All right. How does that look? That looks better. Yeah, it's possible. Whoop.
Did it.
Okay. Right. Good. So that is done. Right, that
I
and curves.
don't even know what this is.
No, there's a sticker for something at some point. Right. There's a post on Facebook about new systems being sent out with a flat BIOS battery. I'd heard about this. This was Dell's, I think. Yeah, apparently Dell sent out there was a batch of Dell computers that were sent out with flat BIOS batteries. So system integrators were flashing their image onto them, and then by the time it got to the customer plugs it in, the BIOS battery is flat, so it has reset and now has become BitLocker locked, and they've got to redo it all because the BIOS has reset, so BitLocker has jammed up, and it's just like, oh whoops. I'm surprised that gets through quality assurance, because yeah, surely in testing you would catch that. Not necessarily the system integrator, but Dell themselves. So yeah.
I guess. But also, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, do they even do quality assurance? I would assume so. Because, yeah, I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't. Because, obviously, you know, the theory is that your QA department is cheaper to run than having X% of your computers come back with incredibly mundane problems that even the most simple QA department would have caught before they went out. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know is the answer to that. Where's my stool? It's there. I'm going to sit down for a bit.
Has a crimping tool on it.
And the crimping tool has to be exactly X% in crimp position to fit into the box.
It must be precisely X% crimp.
Here we go. Okay. Oh. Huh.
Yeah. I was going to say, you presume, in a way, you presume that the batteries are fine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can't, the BIOS doesn't measure the battery life health anymore. I'm sure at some point BIOS is used to display the RCC battery voltage.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think they do anymore. So yeah, maybe it is something that doesn't get caught in QA because I don't think BIOSes check it anymore.
Yeah.
Is the BIOS installing from HDD2? No, it's coming off of a flash drive, but this X570 board will have like a 32 megabyte BIOS, so it just takes forever to update because it's got a massive BIOS chip, because this board has about 10,000 different CPUs that could socket into it.
This is my 32 gigabyte ROM.
Absolutely obscene.
It can be flashed over serial at 1 bit.
Just one, yeah.
Flashing the entire thing will take 16 years.
Indeed. Not now I've got the T76. Thing's magic.
Is it faster?
Oh yeah.
Is it better?
Oh, it's so fast. Yeah, like I did not realise how fast it could be. Like unironically, I was, and it's not even running at its theoretical top speed. It's on like the default conservative settings, and like doing a BIOS chip like this, it would just go ooh, boop, kind of thing, instead of this weight. And it's just like, oh, okay, now I understand why people rave about these things. So yeah, it's very good. I'm going to have a quick look at my to-do list just to see what I'm going to put on the bench after this in a sec. I did want to do at least more than one thing. Let's see.
A friend in aviation told me about a firmware that took 4 days to flash.
God.
What?
How on earth did that come to be?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, how?
Yeah. Like, whoever designed that system, why did they not just, look? Whoever designed that system should have looked at what had happened there and been like, no, that's not acceptable. Yeah, you're going into BIOS. Cool. Yeah, there's a couple of options. I've got a no boot, and I've got a laptop with no picture, but apparently works on HDMI. It's probably just a dead screen though, so that's kind of boring.
Oh no. The only way to flash the firmware was by feeding it paper tape.
Oh, I see.
No. I'm just.
Oh, right, yeah.
I believe that's a facetious comment, but yes.
Yes. Huh.
Oh yeah. Now we've got the all-important LED firmware.
Yeah.
Why do LEDs have firmware? Why do LEDs have storage? They're diodes.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the firmware needs updating, to be honest, but yeah.
Oh. Press. Why to reset to piano? Cool, fine.
Yeah, I guess we'll have a look at this no boot.
Good.
Going to quickly sanitize this because it's got a customer label on it.
Hi, I'm Barry Scott, and this is my computer.
I am Scarybot.
Excellent. Q fan control. Optimize all. Okay.
There we go. Camera definitely ain't seeing through that. Rubbish. Can this thing stop being loud now? Quiet, please, I'm begging you.
It's calibrating. You will be calibrated.
It'll be interesting to see if it calibrates the AIO header here.
Yeah.
The EIEIO.
Whoop.
Can I sit here, please?
No. I must pose. What? I was here first.
You would hate living through hurricanes. I don't mind the sound of the wind and the rain outside. That's nice. Fan noise is just a din, though, you know.
Yeah.
I hate having to do fan calibration as well. I wouldn't mind it if it was optional.
Or like in any way quick.
Yeah. Alright, so firstly, behold how CPU optional is not a separate option here. Not saying I was right, but I was right.
Can I have any control?
I would just stick that on the silent profile.
I'm trying. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Fucking what?
And I would leave that as is. Then, what have we actually got plugged in? Yeah, I think we've got all of them plugged in. Yeah, we do, because we've got 4 fans, so yeah. May I? Because I'm just going to tank all of the fan speeds down to very little.
Oh. Apparently the options for AIO pump are no.
You probably got to click on PWM. Oh yeah, no, it just gives you 0 options.
Clicking on it doesn't do anything.
Yeah, okay. Wow, that's terrible, man.
What?
Fancy that. Everything that I said earlier on is absolutely correct.
Shit.
Yeah. I'm not saying I told you so, but I told you so.
Yeah, this board is a piece of shit.
All right. Okay. I'll set up the other ones, and then I'm just going to get a fan splitter.
It's absolute garbage.
Yeah. All right. Chassis fan 1 manual. Right. Firstly, be quiet. We don't need it more than 50%. Boop. And that can be like there, I think. And I want to make that a round number. Come on, using a trackpad here. Go easy on me. There we go. Right, apply. It's not going to sound very different. It's not going to sound very different because one of the fans is just locked to 100%, which just sucks. So, right. Oh, it's detected them all differently. This is the other reason why I hate... this is why the optimize needs to be optional, because I'm like, please just let me manually set up these fans. I know you think it won't go below 42%, but I know it will go below 42%.
It's also just the fact of how the hell can a PWM fan not go below 42%?
Oh, because it's not on PWM. Okay, that's my bad. Also, hang on a sec. I need to actually check... 2 of these fans are DC and 2 of them are PWM. So, which ones are which? Right, chassis fan 3 and 2 are DC. So it was actually correct on those. They are supposed to be on DC, but there is no planet where they won't go lower than that. So yeah, that's still bollocks. I'm just going to set these to minimum and just run them fixed.
How awful.
Yeah. Right, 2 and 3. Apply. That will do. Because you don't need your chassis fans to be going very fast, and having your chassis fans on turbo speed doesn't actually change your temperatures very much. Okay, right. So, I'm going to find a splitter.
Yeah.
I did grab a 4-way splitter, but that's a bit overkill for this. Let me just see if I've got a just a dual head splitter. Having a rummage. What are you? Oh, that's a triple.
A triple.
Oh, baby, a triple. Yeah, I'll stick a triple in there just in case someone adds another fan at the front later on.
Yeah.
Oh, no. So the one plugged into the AO pump.
Yes.
Yeah. That's the one I spent about half an hour routing underneath the VRM heatsink.
Yes.
Right, firstly, be silent. Oh my god. Cannot get the damn thing off.
Cable tied it in so tightly.
I didn't even cable tie it. Oh, I hate everything. Okay. So there's no point in having your exhauster at high RPM. I mean, high is relative, obviously. However, in my experience, I find that if you actually do some tests, like get your computer running a stress test, so all the temperatures go up to maximum, and then try running it with your case fans at, say, 20% versus having your case fans at, say, 70%. And you'll probably find that there's almost zero difference in the temperatures. There will be a slight difference. I'm not saying that having your case fans at turbo doesn't matter, but the difference is a couple of degrees. It's not going to change your world, so you may as well have them top out at like 50% and have the nice quietness. Because yeah, I think most people would quite happily trade silence for 1 or 2 degrees in their temperatures. If you really need an extra 1 or 2 degrees in your temperature, then there's something wrong with your configuration, you know. Right, let's plug. Right, what am I actually going to do about this?
In the mirror units, Be Quiet calls himself Shut Up.
I think I'm going to sort this out off camera because I don't really want to put a triple fan splitter in at the back here. I kind of want to just reroute these wires again, and I'm not doing that on stream because I've put you guys through 2.5 hours of this wretched machine that should have taken half an hour as it is.
What would Noctua call themselves then? The Darkness.
I am the night. Yeah, I'm going to save and quit that. I'm going to do this off stream because I'm bored of this machine. It should not have taken this long. I'm super annoyed that AIO... I'm just going to go into advanced mode and just make absolutely certain that we can't do anything with that. Just in case advanced gives us more options. QFan configuration, AIO pump control. PWM mode. It can be done in advanced mode. It's just easy mode doesn't let you do it.
What garbage.
Ooh. But ASUS motherboards are the best motherboards.
Okay. Are these PWM fans though?
They are, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the front ones that are DC. Right, so let's just bash in some baseline numbers. So if you set, lower temperature 20, is 50 as low as it will go?
I don't know, I'm just changing it off of 100.
Understandable.
And then seeing if I can go lower. 25. Yes. 10. No. 11.
20 is probably the minimum.
20, yes. Okay, 20 is the lowest. 20 is the middle. 50 is the maximum. Set the upper to 85 degrees.
What a faff.
There we go.
All right. All the fans are running. It is quiet.
There There you go.
Ah. Right. What a faff.
There you go.
Good. My Torrent 180mm fans are obnoxious. When I first had the case, I let it get up to 60% on auto fan control and had to speed limit to 25. Yeah, the fractal fans. I haven't been super impressed by the fans on my fractal Torrent either. They're actually one of the reasons why I kind of want to change my case, because the fans on it just aren't particularly good. They look nice, but they're not very quiet. Even at low RPM, they're kind of noisy. One of them has a slight ticking sound to it, which is why I have it unplugged. But I don't want to change out all the fans because A, the 180mm fans are a weird size, and B, if I change out all the fans, then it's just like, may as well just buy a different case with new fans, you know? I don't know. So yeah. XMP. Oh yeah,
I just did that.
Oh, okay, cool.
That's why it restarted, because I did the fans, saved the fans, made sure the fans weren't crazy.
Right, is it off?
Went back
now?
into XMP, saved it, then
cool.
restarted
right.
and turned it off.
It has actually shut down now.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Groovy. Just making sure it wasn't doing a poor job of power cycling or something like that. Good. All right, that's done.
Yes.
And I'll have to open it up again on Tuesday to put an SSD in it.
At the same time as you do the fans. Don't bother doing the fans.
Yeah. On the plus side,
Very
though,
fatly.
yeah.
They're in.
Yeah, there we go. However, on the plus side, though, that computer is now nice and clean, because it was kind of grotty when we started, and like the actual objective was to make it not grotty anymore. So now when the customer gets that back, they're going to be like, wow, it looks like it's brand new again. That was the actual objective.
They're going to turn into Owen Wilson.
Wow. Right. So this thing apparently is not booting up. So we're just going to find out what that's all about. I don't know how much of this we're going to be able to show on camera because customer data. So whatever, I guess. But I thought I'd try and at least get 2 done today on this stream. Good. We do have a HDMI to DVI adapter here. All right. Let's have a quick nosy in here, actually. What even is this?
Something with an Intel CPU.
Yeah, I think this might be one of my old ones. Maybe.
With 2 hard drives.
Oh, yeah. It does have 2 hard drives in. Oh, does it not have an SSD?
And no SSD.
No.
And DDR3.
Ew. Gross.
It's a 320 gig hard drive.
Sadness. All of the sadness. Yeah, I don't know if this is one of mine or not. I don't like. Let me think. When did I start fitting SSDs as standard to builds? I don't think it even matters, to be honest. If it was one of mine, then it's from 8 years ago. So it doesn't even matter. No, I don't think it is, because I wouldn't have put in a fan cable like that. There is no planet where I would have put a fan cable in like that. So I do not think this is one of mine. I really need to start fitting an internal label in computers that I build, just so when they come back in, it actually has a, yes, this is one of my old ones. Because it does change how I treat the system. Like, yeah, because I try to look after stuff that I've built in the past. Oh, I wouldn't have done cable tiding like that. Yeah, no, this is not one of my builds. Good, that means I get to trash it. So, yeah, that's the other thing as well. Like, how much am I allowed to rip on this before I'm like, oh, kind of one of my old ones?
Doesn't matter. Based on the age of it, it's irrelevant.
True.
Hi, your computer is now garbage because it's 15 years old.
Yeah.
You need a new one. Oh, but you built it. Yes, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
In a different shop. 15 years ago.
Real.
It's 15 years old.
It's old. I'm old. Okay, let's turn this thing on and see what it does. Up the top. Right. Huh.
Hello, optical drive.
Oops. Hello, I didn't plug in the monitor. Oh, hello, knackered fan in CIT power supply. We're just going to have to deal with that. What if I put it upright? Oh God, oh no. CIT tap, yeah.
Don't do it too hard because you'll disrupt the hard drives.
Yeah, oh God, I forgot. Just like imagine having to treat it carefully. Okay.
I really hope that's the fan.
Right, we're getting nothing from this. I'm going to reset it because I don't think it detected the... what am I on there? Reset or power? I'm on power. Reset. Let's see if we get video out from it now.
Oh, there you go.
Aha, okay, right, good. We have post. And it's booting Windows.
But it's a hard drive, so it'll be very slow.
Yeah, okay, right. We'll see. It might blue screen, you know. We'll just wait and see what this does, and then we'll show you what it's doing. But we won't flip to this yet because it may just go to the login screen with the customer name on it. So, God, I hate the noise of failed fan bearings so much. It's just, this is such a grating noise to listen to.
It sounds like most people's car.
Yeah, it sounds like my car at the moment. I think my power steering pump is hecked. It's Windows 10.
Of course it's Windows 10.
Yeah.
It's like 10, 12 years old.
Oh yeah, but as opposed to Windows 7 or something.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Like, it's entirely plausible that a system like this would have 7 on it, but I think everyone got updated from 7. It's pretty rare to see someone still running 7 now.
Look at it bouncing on your levels.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah. I'm glad everyone else is having to suffer with us. Given that power supply has to be released, does anyone dare me to just shove a screwdriver into that fan?
No! Something not metal.
Still going. It's just sitting on the Windows 10 loading spinner. If you need, there are still updates for Windows 7. Ugh. Weirdly, apparently there's been a massive uptick in Windows 7 usage. And I'm curious as to know what the actual reason behind it is. Like, there's loads of people that are doing all this speculation that everyone is abandoning Windows at 10 and 11 and going back to 7. And I don't believe it's that. I think it's something else.
No, because that would be chronically dumb, and you need an IQ of above room temperature to work out that stupid.
Yeah, but...
Because you just stay on 10.
Yeah, exactly. But also people... But also, don't forget, though, the internet is that stupid.
What the fuck?
It's only doing like 2 RPM. Okay, I might actually just put it out of its misery. I'm going to shove a zip tie in there just to stop it.
Oh, it was that fan.
Just stop. 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 All right. The fan might burn out, but the fan is already knackered. Who cares?
Oh my god.
All right.
The answer to this problem is I don't care.
The hard drives are shot.
Yes.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
The answer is you need a new computer.
Yeah. We're done here, aren't we?
The answer is you need a new computer.
It needs a new power supply, and it's got hard drives in it.
And it's H610.
Yeah. Oh, boring. Yeah. I have a gift for you, customer. It's called an Optiplex 3070, which I have stock of.
Wait, what? No, it can't be 610. Because that's LGA 1700. There's no way that's an H610.
It's got an ASRock H61M.
Oh, 61. Oh, thank God for that.
Yeah.
Yes, which is second. It's second gen. Cool.
Yeah.
It's 13 years old.
That would be fine with the new PSU.
No, it's 13 years old.
Yeah, no.
It has hard drives.
Yeah. It's got 2 hard drives and a Sandy bridge in it. It's not fine. It's just no. You can buy, like, let me get one. Hang on a sec. Where is it? I've got one right here. Where did I put it? There it is. This, folks, is an Optiplex 3070. It has a 9th gen i5 in it. It has 16 gigs of RAM. It has a 250 gigabyte M.2 SSD in it. These are £130 on eBay. So when people tell me to fix this, what are you doing? You buy this. Problem solved. Why would you bother repairing this when this exists? Like, I'm going to sell that for more than 130 quid to the customer, but still, vastly better investment.
Yeah.
Yep. So yes. So yeah, we are not fixing this. No, we are not putting a new power supply in it because just no, all of the no. Does it even have 8 gigs of RAM, or is that a 4 gig kit?
You don't know because it's Kingston.
Yeah, literally. Okay, so the sticker ends in /8G, but does that mean it's an 8 gig kit or not? All right, this is KHX 1600 9D3.
Is it C9D3?
Oh yes, sorry,
C9D3 K2.
Yeah, /8G. Yeah. So I think that means it's an 8 gig kit.
2 4 gig modules.
Yeah, okay, so it's an 8 gig kit. Yeah, okay, so it's got 8 gigs of RAM, which is fine, but still.
Yeah.
However, no, we are not entertaining this computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the power supply wasn't shot to hell, I might, and the customer was whining about it, then I might be like, okay, fine, let's stick a 240 gig SSD in it and send it on its way. However, with a knackered power supply, 2 hard drives, and a decade-old CPU, it's just like, no, we're not talking about this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Literally just snapshot the drives.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, good day, goodbye.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm tired, chat.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, well, that's boring as well. Oh, that's a downer to end on. But yeah.
Depending on what the PC is used for, you should give them an option of a PSU replacement while demanding they buy a new PC. No. They can either buy a new PC or go somewhere else.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so new power supply. New power supply that's not a bomb, that's not a fire hazard. Minimum of £30. Let's say that I'm super generous with my fitting and I do £40 fitting on that.
But why are you discounting your labour?
Well,
it still takes the same amount of time.
Let's pretend.
Yeah.
Let's pretend.
That you're now a charity.
Let's play pretend.
That you're a charity.
That I'm a charity. It's £80 to stop that power supply from catching fire, and we haven't started addressing the hard drives. One or both of those hard drives is knackered, which means it now needs an SSD. An SSD that's worth buying for, I don't know, cheapest SSD on the market is going to be 20 quid, something like that. And again, so I said £40 fitting because also now we're going to charge fitting for the SSD because we've got to image data onto it and stuff like that. So let's now pretend that we do £40 to fit the SSD. So we've got £80 labour, but I've got to put in the power supply and do the thing. So now we've got another 60 quid. So now we're now charging £120 for a 13-year-old computer just to make it run again and have a 13-year-old computer.
Yeah.
No. This is not a good offer. And this is just objectively a bad idea. And the problem is, and now, okay, let's say, well, that's not my decision to make. It's the customer's choice. Okay, but the problem is, if you let the customer do that, then they will try and do that, and you will see them again in another 2 months' time. Or actually, I'll see them next week when Windows 10 drops support.
Yeah.
And they go, oh, it's not receiving updates anymore. I need Windows 11. And you're going to be like, it doesn't support Windows 11. And like, well, I just spent over £100 fixing it. Can't you do something? I'm like, okay, I guess we can Rufus it. So now we're going to put Rufus 11 on it, on this 13-year-old computer with a dual-core CPU. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Yeah. What are we doing? Yeah. No. If the customer wants it fixed, okay, I'm sorry, I do not provide service on computers of this age. Data recovery only.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
We are not doing, no, just no.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're done here. Yeah. If it was, if it wasn't for the power supply, if you could just stick a 240 gig SSD in there and say, okay, look, not do that on the cheap, let's it trundle on a bit longer. Okay, maybe we can have that conversation, but yeah, with a dead hard drive in it and with a dead power supply, just straight away it's game over. We're mega done here. Ugh.
Yeah.
And yeah, if I sound annoyed, it's just because it's just like, just stuff like this is just kind of it's almost frustrating that it came in the first place, and I'm just like, oh, why did I even accept this in for repair?
Yeah.
But the problem is just when stuff is coming through the door, you're just like, yeah, we'll have a look. It's not until you get it on the bench and you open it up and you're like, oh no, what's this doing here, man? And you realize that you just shouldn't have even entertained it from the beginning. That's what annoys me.
It's also the case of you can get them something that will be probably nearly twice as performant for barely £70 more than the cost of the parts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amsterdam says, power supply just needs a new fan. I mean, what? Am I going to spend half an hour taking this thing to bits to put a new fan in it? What do you charge for that?
£80 because it's labour.
Yeah.
It's on a power supply now, it's specialist.
Yeah.
£140.
What do you charge for that? That's the problem. I'm not saying that none of this can be done, but like, this is the real world. And this is something that this is a blind spot that the internet has as a whole. It's just like, this is the real world, man. I'm going to sit there, I'm going to take this power supply out of the computer, start taking it apart, and I'm going to be like, I'm spending an hour taking the power supply out of the computer, opening it up to change the fan, and then put it back in for a 500 watt CIT power supply that's 10 years old. And I'm going to be like, what am I doing?
Do I have no standards?
What am I doing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I have enjoyed this conversation in English.
Yeah.
Send it to Greg Salazar. Yeah, does he do stuff like this though? I don't watch Greg, but I trust he doesn't do stuff like this.
Yeah, no.
So yeah. It's a crying shame. It's a crying shame, but you've got to draw the line somewhere and be like, okay, just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Yeah.
So yeah, do you offer Windows 11 upgrades on unsupported PCs? I do it on a case-by-case basis. If a computer, let's say a computer comes in and it's got like a 7700K in it, and the owner is just using it for desktop work, office work. They're checking their emails, doing a bit of Microsoft Word. It's got a 7700K in it, 8 gigs of RAM. And it's probably, it's got an SSD in it. It's an old SSD, but still, it's, SATA SSD, it's fine.
Yeah.
And it's technically not eligible for Windows 11. I'd absolutely Rufus that up to 11 in a heartbeat, because it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. It's getting a bit old, but it's fine. It's got a quad-core CPU in it, It's fine.
Yeah.
However, when you got stuff like this that comes in, you're like, that's a dual-core CPU with DDR3 and 2 hard drives. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this. So yeah, that's how I base it.
Yeah.
So yeah. 8th gen Intel should be the line. Yeah, again, it's kind of case by case basis. If it's one of those fuzzy borderline areas where you're just like, this is technically not Windows 11 compatible, but also it's one of those, it's a crying shame that it's not 11 compatible situations. That's when you Rufus it. But anything older than that, and you're like, this computer is a decade old, it's time to replace it, man.
Yeah,
time
because
to
even
go.
the 7700 is still 7 years old.
Yeah, But again, if they're using it for office work, it's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
but just a statement of it's still 7 years old, so we shouldn't overlook that point.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Rufus Windows 11 will not update to new builds, or did that change? I'm not sure is the answer there. It's really hard to tell.
But it's also kind of a case of you be telling the customer, we'll do this, you've probably got 12 months.
Yeah.
You need to have budgeted within 12 months to have bought a new computer.
Yeah, but also, even if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world, because a computer, like, even if it doesn't do the build update, that will get to the point where Windows will say this version of Windows is now unsupported, and the computer's going to come back in with the customer saying, oh, it's telling me this is unsupported, and you can be like, that's fine, it just needs a service. You stick in a new Rufus thing, you do an inline build update with a Rufus Windows 11 drive, you can spin that back out again in 20 minutes. So even if that does happen, it's kind of not the end of the world, because the failure mode is not catastrophic. It's a warning message that will cause the customer to bring it in for you to do a 10-minute update job on. So that's not the end of the world, and that's assuming that the customer then insists on keeping that machine running. So
because I'd be insisting at the time of doing the upgrade to Windows 11 on it anyway. You have 12 months.
Yeah,
you need to budget within the next 12 months to replace this with a new one.
And in reality, even if that build update goes out, usually build updates get about 2 years of support, I think.
Yeah.
It's usually at around the 2-year marker where the build update will say this is no longer supported. So you can tell them 12 months, but in reality, it's probably going to be 2 years before it actually turns into any kind of problem. So yeah, you can kind of get away with it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Windows 10 has been extended for a year in the EU. Yeah, I think so, but also I'm kind of not caring about that, because it's just like, okay, grand, you kicked the can down the road for another year. What now? Like, it doesn't actually change anything, because all you've done is kicked the can down the road for another year. It doesn't solve the problem. Windows 10 is still going out of support. You still need to replace that. Because it's why I've been replacing people's computers and doing the Windows 11 upgrade for the past year, because Windows 10 has been throwing up the full screen warning sign saying Windows 10 support is coming to an end. That started last June, I think it was, like 12 months ago. That's those pictures, those warning messages started coming up. And that's the time when we've started upgrading people. Well, even if 10 gets another support, it's just like, that doesn't solve the problem. If you get another year, it's just like, okay, you're going to have to deal with this in a year. You still need to upgrade your system. You have not fixed the problem. You've just delayed it. So despite that, I don't think that changes anything. So as such, I am kind of not making any changes on that. I'm still saying to customers, you know, it's going to go on a bit longer. Your computer's not going to stop working, but you should still be upgrading it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, I don't have those problems running Linux and stuff like that. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I'm going to start getting a bit more time on Linux. I'm still not convinced that Linux is good for the masses. I'm sure that there are use cases for. I'm sure there are times where you could make that work. You know, like, I'm sure that there are plenty of instances where you can stick on, you know, Linux Mint with Firefox, and everything that the customer does is in a browser now, so it doesn't even matter, right? Yeah. So I'm absolutely convinced that there is a use case for that. But yeah, I still want to get a bit more experience on Linux, because I'm going to have to support that. And, you know, if it just
It also
randomly...
doesn't change the fact that it's a 10, 12, 15-year-old computer.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't looked at, like, you know, everyone is just like, oh, Linux runs on a potato and stuff like that. I haven't seen what that actually feels like.
Yeah,
because,
but it's just kind of a
the
case
problem
of...
is the people who... I consider the people who tell me that to be unreliable, because a lot of the people who say that are running Windows on a dual core and telling me that that feels good. And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
But it's also the case of, cool, but what happens when Google says, we're only using VP9 now? And you've got a 12-year-old processor that doesn't support VP9.
True.
So now you have to do all your video coding in software.
Which
so you
is
can
gonna
decode
suck.
it 7 FPS.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
I don't care if your OS supports it.
Yeah.
It cares if it can physically function on the modern web.
Yeah, that's it. So again, it's going to...
So it's kind of a case
it
of...
needs to be
yeah.
it's going to be a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
And like, also, like, let's pretend that like this computer doesn't get Windows 11 support. So we go, okay, well, let's Linux this then. It's like, cool, but that doesn't solve the hardware problem of this power supply being knackered, the hard drives being knackered.
Yeah.
And it's just like, cool, okay, are you going to put in a new power supply and an SSD to keep running this 13-year-old platform? And, you know, you put Linux on it and maybe it is performant, but then, you know, how long until something else fails on it? Again, it's just not a good idea to invest in old hardware.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is that real-world problem.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and there are definitely instances where someone can be like, I've got no money. I am bitterly poor. I am below the poverty line. I cannot afford a new computer.
Yeah.
Cool, okay, we can start having that conversation.
Yeah.
But broadly speaking, most people at a given time, their PC is kind of like the car. Now and then they've got to spend a couple of £100 on a major service for it. And that is an expense that they can afford and are willing to pay. So, yeah. All right. I think that's everything. How about a PC with an FX 8350? No.
FX wasn't good when it was new.
No. No, I have nothing but disdain for the FX. And I owned an FX 8350 and it was terrible.
And then you upgraded 4 years later to 4th gen Intel and doubled your performance.
Yeah. God, it was enlightening upgrading from an 8350 to a 4th gen Intel and having a transformative experience.
Yes.
Wild. I have enjoyed this conversation in English. Thank you very much. Goodbye.